Hello, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Well, I don't want to knock that over. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to my stream. I'm Hazel. This is Kira. Kira's our resident manager, stream lead, blesser of water bottles, Kitty. Hi, Hazel and Kira. Hi, guys. Let's see here. Let's turn on the game. I gave a really vague stream title today because I'm not committed to anything in particular. I had some vague thoughts about pursuing that last offhand transmog that I'm missing, but also I don't know if I have the follow through to actually do it. Cold, not tired enough to sleep, not good enough to do anything else. Oh, limbo sucks. Well, I'm glad you're here. This seems like a good place to be. What do you mean unable to connect? Oh, there we go. Well, at least it's on stream. One sec. What do you mean? I'm logged. Oh, I had it running already. That's why. Very strange. Okay. Yesterday, we got this hunter leveled the rest of the way up. Oh, look at that. She's holding her bow. I mean, she's kind of pointing at it, but, you know, it's better than it was. I've seen worse in terms of hunters and their weapons. I wonder why it's working. Maybe they fixed it. Kira emote. I think pretty soon we're gonna need a bat. Kira emote. Cat butt of good luck. So she's leveled. We were kind of camping. We were looking at hunter pets, but I'm not too. She's playing with my mouse. I'm not too fussed if I don't get. Also, this is very loud. Anymore, because I found a cunning pet that I liked, I found a frosty pet that I liked, and then I found a tenacity pet that I wanted that's in the War Within, so I figure I can always just wait. But, you know, if a spirit beast happened to me, it wouldn't be the end of the world. In the meantime, I suppose for right now, it wouldn't be the worst thing to get on this warlock and see, do some more reading echoes to see if maybe it wants to bless me with that offhand. It's okay if I don't get the cloaks. I would like to get the book, but I don't know. I don't know. If I don't get it today, I don't know if I'm going to... Or basically, if I don't get it by the time this character is 70, which I guess would be 2 days worth of leveling. I'm not making another one. This is enough. Warlock is just a casty hunter. Hi, besties. May as well give it a shot. Yeah. The only other thing I really had... We've got 5 days before the War Within. I'm pretty sure I have one more weekend before early access. Is that true? Hang on. Yes. Okay. So I have one more Monday, Tuesday, and then there's early access, and then the next Monday, Tuesday is going to be like launch. So, these 2 days I don't stream, which means that I have this stream, one more, and then I guess the Wednesday. I have the Wednesday stream. So I have 3 streams total, including this one. And we need one of them at least is going to be Bags and Bank. I think I can fill an entire stream on the back of Bags and Bank. Speaking of, wow! Oh, they got it back! They got it back! I was about to complain that currency transfer was still disabled, but it's not true. It's not true. Currency transfer seems fine. Early access. It's Thursday. Yes. Are you streaming late Thursday? I was gonna probably stream a lot. We'll see what my schedule looks like, but I may very well start at my normal start time and then just like hang out all day. It seems like it'll be kind of an event, you know. Gorla is demo. Yeah, she's a demo lock. She's got her Felguard here. His name is Vinik Shakur, also known as Vinny, because I finally watched for the first time in my life My Cousin Vinny last night. So if there's any references from that film, I should be familiar. It's all right. I panic geared a couple tunes. Nice. Works did it earlier. It was a good movie. It was all right. It was fine. It was funny. Marissa Tomei was the funniest part of the whole movie. She was very good. It was kind of fun because I was born in '92 and the movie came out in '92. So I was thinking, is this is what people were up to while I was busy beginning to exist? It was a little bit. I don't want to call it dumb, but it couldn't quite decide in some parts if it was going to be like a serious courtroom thing with like serious consequences, or if it was just going to be like a really silly movie. I don't know. You were born in 2092. I am from the future. Kitty cat. She does this thing. I don't know if it's no. It's not showing up a camera. She's We might need to take a. We might need to just take a pet the cat break for a little while. She is on a rampage right now. She gets in these moods where she wants to like aggressively, yeah. There you go. Do this, but to the point that if I move my hands away to put them on like my keyboard or my mouse, she's still doing it, which makes it very hard to. She likes doing it when I'm trying to type a stream title, which is funny because I'm normally doing that like 3 minutes late anyways. So we just gotta fill up the Kira love meter, and then she'll settle down. But if you don't pet her enough, she will start biting you. Wolf Cloud on a 45-month stream streak, 45 stream streak. Not sure I knew to what a degree a creature of habit I was. Scarlet on a 30 stream streak. Holy smokes, guys. I love it when cats do that. He's so cute. She's rediscovered one of the actual cat beds that's for cats, and it's very cute to see her all snuggled up in it. I think she's picked it because it's in an unconventional place, so she assumes it's her idea. It was kind of like randomly on the floor of my closet, and she's like, yeah, this is good. This will work. Dedicated to watching your streams. Look at y'all with your dedication. That's one of the most realistic depictions of a real courtroom ever made in cinema. My goodness. I enjoyed how he continued wearing his leather jacket, despite the fact that it was continuing to get him thrown into jail. Where, if ever, does the stream streak thing cap? One way to find out. Ow! Ow! Excuse me. You don't have to bite me. She's not like chomping. She just gnaws with her, 4 remaining teeth. 56 or something like that. Just a little nibble. Missy does the same thing if he's like really excited. He has like an I love you chew where he'll just kind of like, he doesn't even chomp down. He'll just kind of like rub the front of his teeth on your hands. But he's only allowed to do that with us. No, definitely not this one. Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm over here making excuses for your nibbles. You're really feeling it today. Hi. You want this one? Dedication to starting my mornings off in a good mood. This is the place for that. Aww. Excuse you. Gotten sucked into Lorcana? Did not need another expensive habit. Here I am. I'm afraid to ask because I also don't need an expensive habit and I'm easily convinced to take up new hobbies. But what is that? I guess I can try and Google it. Kitty, can we use the keyboard? No, we cannot. You're gonna have to let me know. Cats rub their teeth from the side of the mouth. Sometimes youngest accidentally puts finger in mouth doing that. Cute. Disney version of Magic the Gathering. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Also, I have some talent points I probably ought to spend. We have yet to successfully complete any of these little events. Oh, there's... What is that? Imps or something. That's alright. Textbook definition of aggressive one. She just has the little moods, and then she'll get it out of her system, and then she'll settle down. You can come sit in my lap anytime you want. But Kira's at a point in our life where I just spoil her rotten. She gets whatever she wants. She's a sweet girl. She doesn't really have unreasonable demands. Or at least they don't feel unreasonable to me. If she wants to chew on me, I'm honored. Sounds interesting, but also fear looking it up. You don't have talent points. What do you mean? Making deck boxes out of my old VHS tapes. Oh, that sounds like a fun project. How are we doing, Kitty? What are we getting up to? Oh, hey, there we go. We got our... What do we get in our box? You get like 1 piece of champion gear on a character in a week. We got robes, which is not too bad. Oh yeah, and then I guess I played it last week as well. So she's got shoulders. She's got champion shoulders waiting for her at level 80 or 70, as well as a saber. What we need is the we need an offhand to drop. If the we need the offhand to drop. The rest of it we're not too worried about. Now they're all down. 2 more to go. Is demanding the shower water unreasonable? No, not at all. Decided to gear my Ellie Shaman. Want my 3 other alts in my warband screen to full 480. Nice. That's a good place to start. That's like a good framework from which to start it. We want to get away from the deviant thing. We can turn in the daily. Yeah, she can have autofocus on the camera. That's fine. That's not unreasonable. Hazel featuring Kira looks like she's reading chat. She is kind of pointed vaguely in that direction. I think she's falling asleep. Mom. I finally got around to taking off my nail polish. It had been becoming increasingly disastrous over time. But I got sick of my claws getting too long. They needed to come down. What's your plans for the War Within until Season 1 starts? I got a level first, and I can't emphasize enough that I am a slow leveler on new expansions. I am not going to be one of these people that stays up all night and like is 80 by the first morning. It just doesn't sound like me at all. So that's going to take me a while. I guess not all the way until September 10th. I'm probably not going to be playing super long hours until raid guides are done though. And we'll have to, it's still kind of an open question as to where that's going to be. I'm hoping to get them done like a few days earlier this time around, but we'll have to see. Which morning are you aiming for then? Oh, no aim. I don't see any point in giving myself a deadline when there doesn't need to be one. Did hear the campaign is short. Yeah, but anyways, get my first character leveled. I don't think I'm going to stress too much about leveling any alts for a little bit. I always like at the top of the expansion to have just one character leveled for a few weeks, just because it reminds me of simpler times when I only had one character in my life. And it's more manageable for me to figure out what I'm doing in a new expansion and how to play it and what my goals are when I'm only thinking about one character for a while. So I have lots of alts, but I think it's going to be some time before I actually level any of them. So getting my feet under me with professions. I guess maybe a little gathering. One of my alts is going to be a gathering alt, so maybe I start leveling her just so I can do a little bit of herbing and mining and stuff. I'm gonna do some fishing. Extra incentive this time to get them done early. I do. Target is to have the main at 80 by opening night for rating. Yeah, I suppose so. That is a deadline, but that's a really generous one. That's not until September 10th, and then I wouldn't even raid until the following night because my raid nights are usually Wednesdays. Give the rated day to work out their issues. Sexy Gordon Bombay with a 34-month resub. I appreciate the cat cam close-up. Thank you very much. Listen, doesn't happen all the time. If she wants to focus, it's all hers. You've seen me. You know what I look like. I mean, you've seen her too, but as far as I'm concerned, one of us is dramatically cuter. Find it fulfilling to focus on a main for a while too. Yeah, and I think it'll be good for me to kind of get my feet under me in terms of like figuring out the world quests, getting started with delves, and just like even just on like the low level leveling version of them, kind of getting handy and comfy. Especially because I'm planning on playing 2 specs. I'm gonna be playing Shadow and Holy, and I want to have some knowledge in both of them as opposed to like Holy is still probably gonna be my main gig and then my first priority, but I want to put a lot more effort into Shadow this time than I have done so you know, do some dungeons, do some practice, scrape off the dust on my my rotations and stuff. I don't remember how long it took to unlock Red Draenei. I don't think it was very big of a deal. I think I did it and then I'd forgotten that I'd even done it because it wasn't that hard. What is Kira gonna play in the War Within? Kitty cat, are you a feral druid? Yeah, you can share a screenshot of the stream. Pre-expect project of clearing as much of my digital hoarder mess on so many alts. Nice side effect is I'm making lots of gold. Oh, nice. I think that's gonna... she's so close. She's loafed so close in front of the keyboard. It's hard to hit the keybinds. That's my project for tomorrow, I think. I want to do big bags in bank cleanup tomorrow. I'm really hoping I get this offhand today. I would really like for that to happen. Give Velen a McMuffin? Just a little quest line? Can't decide if I want to go priest or mage. I mean, if there was ever an expansion to go priest, it would be this one. Ooh. Vinny. Vinny, no. Vinny's dead. One of these buttons helps me resummon him. There's Fell Domination, and there he is. I miss Hunter. I don't know what I'm doing on Warlock. If you like Mythic Plus, Arcane Mage doing real good. Yeah, a few people have been talking about that. That's cool. That'll be exciting for him. Used to main mage, but what drew me to Shadow Priest was the ability to heal as well. People doing Remembered Quillbore, or is Crystal Power? Yeah, this is a perfectly good place to be. You have experience looking at shelter animals. A little bit. Is it true that most have really sweet names and then there's one completely off the wall sprinkled in between? I mean, often litters, I was going to say batches, often litters of kittens or puppies that come into the shelter at the same time will get like a themed group of names. So it could be like, you know, you'll have like Avengers, or you'll have, sometimes it's media, sometimes it's like locations, you know, they'll be named after different mountains in the Himalayas. Sometimes they're named after food groups. I saw a litter of kittens that was all named after different types of cheese. Because it's just like a, you know, most people will rename the pet when they get them anyway. So if there was one that was like wildly not fitting, I would almost assume it was from a different batch, unless they were just trying to like, maybe that one has like a slightly more difficult personality and they want to give it an extra chance at some attention to make sure someone takes it home. Fork, knife, spoon, and spork. Lemon, Moose, Blossom, Dave the Cheese Wizard, and Cinnamon. Yeah, Dave the Cheese Wizard is usually going to be a cat. I find that it's usually the cats that get like the absolutely unhinged shelter names. There are some dogs that get funny ones, but I feel like it's usually the kitty cats. I forget what it was. There was one that was really funny that I have a screenshot of somewhere in my Discord saved that was just like, it was so good. It was like a whole sentence. And it was, what was it? Dave is 100% a cat. The shelter renamed my pup Zorro. His black mask was the inspiration. My cat was from a litter named after months, and I renamed her to my favorite video game character. Yeah. I don't remember if Kira had a name in shelter before Kira. Oh no, she did. She did. That's right. She had a pre-adoption name. I don't know. I don't think it was from like a batch though. It was like a human name. Probably just name a cat Daenerys. Equally hilarious weird names in purebred dogs. Stella, a human name, as opposed to being named like, you know, cheese. You can share the name. No, I feel like it's not that I think anyone's gonna track down my cat's history. It's more so that it's a cute name, and people will forever hate me for not keeping it because it was cute. And you know, it's like you never tell people what your other options for names for your child were when you're like expecting a baby, because some people will get attached to one of the names you didn't pick and then they'll keep that name in their head. Yeah. I don't want anyone deciding that they like her old name better and just calling her that until the end of time, because it was adorable. I often think that maybe I should have just kept it, but it was my first cat. It was the first time I was adopting a pet, and I was pretty intent that I was going to pick out unnamed. My cat was named Pickles before we adopted her, and I would have totally kept it if I didn't personally know a cat named Pickle before. Pickles is very cute. I don't think this I don't think we're getting this event done. Did you have a list of names for Kira? I must have done, but I don't remember. I remember the Moose documents because I'm sure I still have it as a Google Doc somewhere, like the other runner-up names that I was thinking of before we landed on Moose. But Kira came home in 2014. It's been a while. I don't really remember. I still think that the dog you met named Toaster was 11 of 10. Oh, Toaster's a legend. What was the name of that cat? The shelter listing that was like, it was a really, to put it undelicately, it was a fat cat. It was a huge cat. And it was one of those ones that looked like really, it was Don Cheeto. That's what it was. There was a shelter cat listing and it was named Don Cheeto. And he looked like the most incredible beast of like a brick of a cat that you've ever seen in your life. And I loved it so much. The photo combined with the name was so funny. I really hope Don Cheeto found a lovely home. I don't care if he bites someone first thing in the morning to brush his teeth. It's amazing. Rescued my first cat. It was all black from the pumpkin patch. Named him Jack for Jack-o'-lantern. That's precious. Food names for pets are usually pretty great. I don't remember if Don Cheeto was orange. He may have been orange. I just remember that he was enormous. He was a very, like, cubic cat. He was very much brick-shaped. What's Kira's previous name? Dave the Cheese Wizard. A true loaf, yeah. Cat's name is Janet. Litter was named based on the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Aww. What a peculiar memory for Azeroth. During pre-patch, is it a better path to the kill this mini events at spawn? Yeah, totally. Any of the boss ones that are up are always a good priority. And then failing that, the fill the bar ones do pretty well. I usually pick Quillbor or Peons. Although, I feel like sometimes I go to Zen's Bidding and people are doing that one as well. It just kind of depends on where the activity is. Sophus? Couch kitty, because he was a lazy slob of a foofball. Eridar Locke looks dope. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I like them with the red hair options and everything, just to really finish the look. I also think it's peak edgy to have the Demon Slayer title on a Demonology Warlock. It's unclear if we're talking about the imps that I'm exploding or just my general incompetence as a master of demons. I just keep getting them killed. We got a sample cheese, Gouda, and turmeric seed. Don't know if I like it. That sounds interesting. I would try it. I don't end up with a lot of the cheeses that have like herbs mixed in or like crusted on the outside though. I've tried them and they're all right. It's not usually what I want when I want cheese though. We're a purist. I don't think you slay your imps. Do you think they just get like left out in the sun too long and they just go they're recyclable, it's all good. You microwave them without poking any holes in the wrap. It's a beer that you forgot in the fridge or the freezer. Best I had was a Colby cheese with rosemary. Time to make tea. Nice. Slay needs a certain amount of finesse. There we go. Level. That's level 38. And no, it's only 9:30. I'm like, where did the events go? Maybe Anixia's up. Spend some talent points. I wonder if I'm gonna reclaim any gold when I do my bank and bag cleanouts of all my characters. 17. I mean, I was gonna do it tomorrow, but if I put it off until Wednesday, I'll have all my remix characters available too. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I have no concept of going through like all of my bags and bank to clean out as much as possible. Bags, bank, and quest log. That's important too. And then maybe like a fresh transmog for each. Like in my brain, for 26 characters, that's gonna take like half an hour. And practically that's like, what, a minute and a little bit per character? That's not, it's not an absolute, there's no chance. But my brain is not giving that more than half an hour. I feel like it's gonna be over very, very quickly. What do remix characters have anything to clean up? I could centralize their gold, and I mean, I guess changing their transmog's not really a thing. I could just do that for free in remix anyway. But, yes! I got the book! I got the book! That was what I wanted! What if we, start that bag and bank clean out a little early? I mean, I could finish leveling Gorla. There's no reason not to. Woo! So this is the Alliance version, I guess, but it would have given me the Horde one as well. Yeah, it's got a big check mark now, so that one is all done. I'm just missing cloaks. And then apparently like leather boots, but I'm not too fussed about that. Those should also be available from Exile's Reach. In theory. Good job, Gorla. I'm sorry I didn't believe in her. Although I swear for a few days the drop rates really were kind of thorny. Like we did a couple of days where we got like one piece of loot across like 6 hours of grinding events. There was definitely a lull. Since reps are warbound, does that mean rep token value goes up? The new reps and the Dragonflight ones. For now, the old ones aren't. Which isn't exactly an answer to your question, but I don't know if I have an answer to your question. It's a good question. Trying to get the Akir Tunneler. No idea how to get to the Assault version.
We overcame this once, and
well, question 1 is if it's possible to use the Zadormi NPC to time travel to the correct timeline, and then question 2 is the Assault may not be up. The Assaults rotate, so it's not always going to be Uldum or Pandaria. Like it rotates. So you may need to wait for the correct one to come back around. How close do you think we are to getting cross-faction trade chat? I could not answer for $1 million whether or not trade chat is cross-faction now. If you told me that it was, I would believe you. I have no idea. Someone suggested the drops are level locked to 30+. Oh. That would be interesting. That would be something. Quillbore. Maybe I'll try it. Dropping by a different one to see if anybody's doing it. Got a jet? Have a wonderful Saturday. Still possible in retail? Should be, yeah. Does your answer change if it was for $1? Oh, could I guess? I mean, I could. It would be an absolute random stab. It looks like people do Zen's bidding, actually. It looks like this one does get some activity. Now, full cross-faction, crossover, everything by the end of the trilogy. Yeah, it seems like that's the direction that we're heading. Are you super pumped for the new Twitch gift sub pet promo? Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I hope that we can do well, and I hope that people like the pet. I'll have to give out some subs to someone too. I'm gonna need one for me. Water good. Oh, I love it when you just swoop in at the very end and you don't even need to tag anything and it just kind of happens. That's always the best. That's a good feeling. So it's only 30 levels until she's like done. I'm pretty sure I did like 40-ish to 70 in one day on my hunter, I think. Because I kind of just want to get her to 70 just to feel like I have done with it. Because I feel like if I don't do it now, the expansion's going to come out. 2 years are going to go by, and she's just going to be like awkwardly level 40. And I'll be like, well, am I done with this? Am I not done with this? I don't really need the Warlock, but it's nice that she looks cool. She looks nice. I just, I don't know. I want to be a Volpera monk. Getting my craftsman through trade chat would be so hard on Oceanic because way less horde. Who knows what current level 40 will mean 2 squishes from now, right? Usually, by the time that my characters have been squished a few times when they weren't at max level anyways, I usually just get sick of them and delete them. I could just delete her and then have done with it. That would be a really fast way to finish leveling her, would be to press the character delete button and move on. Or what if I didn't finish leveling her and then one day I was like, you know what I really want to be is a Minari Demonology Warlock. I've done myself a favor by leaving it until the pre-patch event is over so that I have to level her normally. I don't even know what this button does. Sacrifices wild imps to generate charges of demonic core. Oh, for some instant demon bolts. Gotcha. Because then I would build a better connection with the character. Thanks for giving me that mog. You won a trip to the farm upstate. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that I'd sacrificed a character that had served their purpose, sparked their joy. You'd be slaying the demon slayer demon. War mode should play a bigger part for people who care about the factions. Let us not war mode people have cross faction everything. Okay. I wonder if they would ever, without completely dissolving the factions, let any race of character join either faction. Like, I could see on a slide at BlizzCon one day them having a feature where you can defect, where you make the character, but you just choose to have them allied with the other faction. I think that would be cool. For people that want to really play like one race, but they would prefer to be the other faction, like use the other faction's capital cities and stuff. Tempted to spend the next week leveling something outside of remix and pre-patch just to reacclimate to non-turbo mode. Wow. I think that's not a bad idea. I was kind of reflecting on how quickly I leveled so many of these remix ults in particular, because those were done in like 2 hours each. And how like I barely remember what they are, I don't really know what they do, and how when I don't level a character over a certain amount of time, I feel like I don't get a chance to build a connection with it that makes it feel like my character. It just kind of feels like an extra file that's sitting on my loading screen that I've kind of forgotten how it got there. Blood Elves and Alliance. At that point, WoW is dead. For some people, probably. You can join the Alliance's Horde in Battlegrounds. EverQuest 2 did a faction change quest option. It should be more political than about what race you are. Imagine a third faction. That would shock me. That's something I would be willing to bet against. That would be flabbergasting to me. Because that would feel like a step in the opposite direction of what they've been trying to do. Unless the factions are just basically, like, not very impactful anymore. Bajillion NPC factions in the game, so you never know. Boosting a tune 15 levels in 2 seconds divorces your sense of progression and investment from the character. I mean, let's not get crazy, but yeah. Yeah, Pandas and Drakthir can already join either faction. And there's a variety of NPCs that are of a race that's normally affiliated with one faction that tend to hang around the other one. It's not unheard of. I don't think it would be game ending. Love that they keep adding more neutral races. It would surprise me at this point if they added non-neutral races. The last time we got non-neutral races was BFA, I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm mistaken. Could be. Happens all the time. Yeah, people do stop by and do this event. I thought they wouldn't because it had the whole fell cones thing, but I guess you can just kill remembered stuff and then that works out. Fill the bar. Earthing coming soon. Did you die in hardcore? Early on, yeah. My first character that I made in hardcore didn't make it past like, what level did I die at? 15, 16, 14, somewhere in there. That was very shocking for me. But after that, the characters that I made later, I didn't have another one die on stream. The Falcons make me feel so nostalgic. Still hoping for Naga. Okay. Level 42. It looks like I've got a good active shard, which I feel like will be nice for leveling out here. Hope they add Nerubian, since lore-wise, some of them don't want to join Zaladin. Happy Catterday. Happy Catterday. Those trogs were brutal and hardcore. You know what killed me? Hubris. My own arrogance. My own unearned confidence that I was so sick at that game that there was no way that I was gonna die. Also, Trogcasters. They hit really hard. Your sense of direction. Alright, alright. Elden Ring is where confidence and impatience just repeatedly kills me.
No time for nostalgia, champion.
Man. It's probably best for everybody if I never, ever, ever try and stream. You did flee deeper into camp. I was busy. Pipe down over there. Overconfidence is a slow, insidious killer. What was the line? There was a moment back in BF or Shadowlands when we were working on the Trial of Ascension, and I was so convinced that I had this fight super easy, and the NPC says something along the lines of like, "Pride will be your downfall," and I'm like, "No way!" And then it immediately knocked me off the edge. You remember that? Slow and insidious killer lines from Darkest Dungeon. That is a good clip. The timing was just couldn't argue with it. I can't believe Shadowlands was like, it's about to be 2 expansions ago. That's crazy.
The memory of Onyxia.
Man, the best thing you can do for leveling in these is to figure out which events people like best. If you have like a really good read on the tier list, then you'll be super fast because you can just go where everybody else is going. But if you're me and you think everybody's going to do Quillbore when they're doing everything but Quillbore, then you're going to be in trouble. Won't feel like it though with Necrotic Wake and Mists in the rotation. I forgot Miss Eterna Scythe was coming back. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm a little nostalgic for Miss Eterna Scythe. Oh, that last boss? Nothing got my blood pressure up quite like trying to time that last boss of Mists on a key level that was just kind of barely, like, when we were really close. Shame it's not Plaguefall. Oh, shush. Keep that thought in your head where it can't hurt anybody. Don't get me wrong. That's a, just trying not to let the universe hear. Siege of Borellis, I have feelings about. 1 expansion per year? I think it's gonna be a little shy of 2 years. I think that we're looking at every 20 to 22 months or so, which is still faster than it used to be. But if they get it down to 12, that would be surprising to me. If I was just a gamer and they did 12 months, I would probably be annoyed at having to pay an extra like $100 every single year. But as a content creator, I could probably learn to live with it. Getting bad vibes about this next season? Hope I'm wrong. Ooh. Hello, Meldal. How are you doing today? How many characters maxed out, remix and pre-patch? 26, going on 27. Oh no, I'm 27 going on 28 because I got my 27th leveled yesterday. We started with somewhere in the neighborhood of 15, and then we did about 9 in remix, and then we've done the rest of them in pre-patch. Something like that. Yeah, who's counting? Who's counting? Me. Gordok, perfect. This is going quite well. I'm happy that I got the transmog that I wanted. I wouldn't say no to more. I wouldn't say no to like more cloaks and stuff. They would be fine with that. Thursday night? War Within? Something like that, yeah. Set of professions to do transmutes and everybody? Probably not. I'll do them on my main. It depends on how profitable they are and how much of a pain in the butt it looks like it would be to set up a bunch of characters to do it. But in Dragonflight, I set up a bunch of characters to transmute Drakathist, and I did it approximately never. I would do it on my main, and then I would not like want to level onto another character to do it. I just get kind of bored. Must have plans to nerf alt armies. Everyone will have tons of 70s. Maybe. I don't know. I think that the way that they're kind of setting it up, where you get like at least you like there's things that you'll only really get full credit for the first time in a warband. They're gonna have like some tuning knobs that they can use to make sure that it's not like crazy, I don't know, gold making profitable or whatever to have like a million characters unless you have just tons of time. I don't really know what they would do though. I don't think I feel like, at least for me, the limiting factor to me abusing tons of alts to make a lot of gold has never been how many alts I've been able to have leveled, because we've been able to have tons of them before. Like, there was plenty of people that had character cap of max level characters well before Remix and this. It was always, how much time do you actually want to spend using them? Because outside of the mission table era, which I think that we're pretty much solidly finished with now, anything that you're going to do on a million characters, like, it takes a lot of time just to log into them, let alone actually doing something on them. Like in Dragonflight, through pretty much the whole expansion, if you wanted to, you could take 50 characters and you could do all of the dragon races and all of the gold world quests and all of them, and you could have made insane amounts of gold. It just would have taken a ton of time. It would have been a full-time job. Yeah, they nerfed the Dragonflight gold world quests. It's a fairly normal thing for them to do at the end of an expansion. I wish they'd waited a week, but I'll get over it. Alt armies truly just for throwing them in a mount drop or something. Yeah. Gold making limit is how long until I go bananas? Yeah. So, she's back. Wait. I'm not done spending my talent points. Doing Torghast once a week was hell. For some people. Doing 25 dragon races every day sounds like literal hell to me. Yeah, there's a reason I never did it. If I was feeling really motivated, I would kind of do like gold world quests and dragon races on the character I was currently logged into. I was very much guilty of being like, oh, there's a dragon race right here. Let's just stop and do it real quick. Like if I was in the area for something else, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to clear them all the time. Pretty excited for the War Within, to be honest. Haven't played retail since I quit in WoD. It should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm starting to feel the launch hype. Sure. That'll do. Coming back since they're doing the saga thing for the first time ever.
I remember this one.
I didn't actually know that the Twitter integration was fully gone. I hadn't tried to use it in ages. My X, I guess, account is all but dead. I haven't posted in years, I don't think. But I used to use it. Because it would take an automatic screenshot. My add-on would take a screenshot whenever I got like a mount to drop. And then because of the integration, it'd be like, hey, do you want to post a screenshot to Twitter? And I would be like, yes, please. This is a perfect solution for me having no ideas about what to post on Twitter.
I wouldn't call this particular echo radiant.
Nice. Back with Chai. Did you ever use it? Yeah, I did. I used to post like mount drop screenshots, and the other, like, occasionally other stuff, but usually some kind of a memento of like an achievement, maybe like a boss kill or something like that. I used to just auto post it to Twitter. The Heavenly Golden Cloud Serpent. A lot more common than I thought. Which one's that? Heavenly Golden. 14.5. Exalted from Xiaohao. A lot of people will be getting that from having played Remix if they didn't have it before. But I think it was also a fairly popular map before. We need TikTok integration now. Post a clip. Plus minus 5 seconds. It's a good idea. The main hurdle is that it's really hard to make WoW watchable in vertical format. Or at least I have a hard time with it. When you're looking at like a 9x16 or whatever, like a like a phone format video and you're trying to take like a widescreen game with like a lot of UI elements and make it clear what's going on. Like for some things, like a transmog, you know, spin around your character, that'll work great. But for a lot of other stuff, you have to do some pretty creative editing if you want to have uh-oh, I think I'm disconnecting. If you want to have it actually be watchable. Yeah, the Twitter integration that was originally put in WoD, it was like a patch feature. It was like 6.1. And it was a really famous patch for having basically nothing else in it. It had the Twitter integration and it had the selfie camera. And from that audience at that time, that was like the most panned patch they ever did, because both of those things were fairly unpopular in the general, you know, zeitgeist of WoW. Could you set up your resolution for vertical monitors? Probably not. I've never tried. It would be an odd thing to do. People got mad at that patch because there was so little content. Yeah. It was kind of a double whammy of like, there's nothing to do. You're giving us, and it was before they'd kind of started doing like 0.05 patches. Like they hadn't started the half patch thing. So it was like a 0.1 patch, I'm pretty sure. Actually, am I misremembering? Was it the first time they did like a half patch? I don't know. Anyways, people were expecting content and people got a selfie camera. And people didn't even like the concept of selfies, so they were not pleased with it. Do you like how they made the selfie camera relevant again with achievements and quests? It's a super fun toy. I like it a lot. It just was not popular when they first added.
What a peculiar memory.
Remix and seasonal modes feel like a permanent fix to the WoD content drought. Yeah. WoD also existed in a world before Mythic Plus and before World Quests. Both of those things happened in Legion. So Warlords was in a really, really uncomfortable spot where they didn't have that much replayable endgame content, particularly if you were not raiding. But even if you were raiding, there's only so many times you can clear a raid before you're kind of done. They were in a bit of a bind there. When is the War Within going to be launched? Early access starts in 5 days on the 22nd on Thursday, and then the full release is on the following Monday, the 26th. WoD's getting a second look. Rehab reputation. I think everything will eventually. Anything in WoW that gets disliked, or just anything in WoW eventually, enough time will pass that people will review it with a more objective or sometimes even rose-colored perspective, and then, you know, it doesn't look so bad anymore because you're not in the middle of it. Nostalgia overcomes us all. Sometimes it makes me feel better whenever we're in the middle of a patch that people are like universally saying is just the end of life as we know it. Is I think, you know, one day people are going to look back on this and be like, you know what? That was actually kind of fun. Or it's the people like us that were like, or me, and some of you, not everybody, but that were enjoying it at the time. And then we're like, yeah, it was great. I don't know what you guys were talking about in the forums, but we had a nice time. Korthia's not going to be looked back on well. I give it enough time. Someone will like it. You know what I loved about Korthia? The, what were they called? We had our little buddy that would help us find treasure, and you could also get them as like, you could also get them as companion pets, and you could get them as hunter pets. The little froggy things. What are they called? Hang on a second. These guys! Come on! Come on! I cannot perma-hate the patch that gave me these things. Grommets, yeah. Plus, Korthia had tons of rares with interesting mechanics for getting mounts and pets and stuff. Like, it was not a cookie cutter zone. Some of it was, like, not very user-friendly. That stupid rare that you had to, like, not engage until the stacks were gone was, like, an awful idea. Because it could be trolled by people that just didn't know any better because it was a really unintuitive mechanic to begin with. I like Korthia. There we go. Literally everything that WoW has ever done. Eventually, there will be people that come out in defense of it. And usually it's me. It's a big game. Do you remember trying to gather the Korthia mushrooms? You needed like 10. Barely. I remember being frustrated trying to jump on the trees, but it's not WoW's fault that I suck at jumping puzzles. I ended up just switching to Venthyr and using a bunch of Dora Shadows, I think. And then that one time that I managed to get the jump onto the tree for the nest that was like right south of the town, I like practiced that one, and it felt amazing whenever we nailed it. Any advice for someone returning to the game? Pretty overwhelmed with the changes. Don't feel like you have to figure everything out right away. You just need to figure out what you want to do. What sounds fun if you want to participate in raids or dungeons, or if you just want to level up and collect. Figure out what seems like a fun thing for you to do, and only worry about that for the moment. The pre-patch event is pretty straightforward. You can just kind of do these little mini events and then do the boss whenever it comes up, and that'll get you geared up and started, set up, ready to go for the War Within. And we'll all be learning the next expansion on the same level. Like, everybody else will be also a bit confused when we're leveling and figuring out everything. It's a good point to come back, because you're going to get to start the next expansion on the ground floor. Hope everyone's having a great day. Currently leveling alt number 26. I have a problem. Well, what kind of alt is alt number 26? What are you leveling now? Emerald Dream, very fun. Came back, a lot of cool druid transmogs. And like druid forms and hunter pets. It wasn't my favorite endgame patch content-wise. The Super Bloom I found to be pretty boring compared to some of the other events. But in terms of like cosmetics that you could get in that zone, and just how beautiful it is to like hang out there, incredible. I think I'm going to be going back to it over the years to like finish collecting the rest of the gear and the stuff that I didn't get the first time around, because all of it's just gorgeous. I did a Super Bloom yesterday, actually, after stream ended, to try and get, I don't know, a piece of transmog from like the weekly cache. It takes so long to get to the end of it. Like, you're better off just kind of like waiting until like 12 or 13 minutes after the hour and then going to the end part to see if you can just tag the boss and get like 50 bloom real quick for the weekly. Like, there's no good reason to like follow the thing around the whole time. Reminds me to check my growing plant. I want that now. It's fascinating to me that they managed to make one of the least liked, not the worst, because, you know, let's not get carried away. The Primalist Future exists, but one of the least liked public events as one of the very last ones that they did, because they'd had time to learn all these lessons, and at least they made it so that you can do the Super Bloom effectively still, even if there's not a lot of other people around. It'll kind of scale down to you a bit. It's not mandatory for it to be in a big group like some of the events are. But yeah, it's funny to me that they managed to like miss the ball when they had done more popular ones earlier. Time Rifts were reasonably well received. Primalist Future can bite me. I'm so glad I have everything I want from that. That was bad. People will complain about everything. Yeah. Still complaining is a community event. It's like a social thing for a lot of people. If you and a bunch of other people are all complaining about the same thing, you've got something in common, and now you're part of a group. If you're feeling like a lack of belonging or being a part of a group in other areas of your life, it can be extremely appealing to just engage in like social complaining, because it's a very low barrier to entry way to have a tribe. I got the tome, actually. I'm sticking around to get Gorla some more levels for as long as I have stamina for it. It's fun for now. Didn't hate Shadowlands, but I was able to tell there were some issues at that time. Yeah. Has the loot been dropping more? Yeah, actually, a little bit. I've gotten a handful of pieces today. I think the rates are better than they were a few days ago. Unless I was just getting really unlucky, but... I don't know, I think there was something going on. Ooh, Falcons. I don't know if that's worth the time it takes, but... Could you link your most recent YouTube video, tips and things to do? I did a video that was kind of going over the major features of the pre-patch. If that's what you mean, I can grab a link for that. Is a handful for you A, 5, or B, how much you can carry in a hand? I never really thought of that. Does it mean 5 to some people? I always figured a handful is a little bit more that you can carry in one hand because you're juggling it. Yeah, maybe it's the under 30 thing. Things to do in the War Within pre-patch. Copy a link. There you go. There are 5 on a full hand. Oh, there's 5 on your hand. Some people will have less. A couple people might have more. Handful isn't a measurement of number. It's a measurement of volume. I didn't realize there were so many, like, specific numbers. I kind of just thought it was a figure of speech that could mean a bunch of different things. It's like figuring out what bi-weekly means. Literally when your hand is full. But whose hand? Oh, man. I made up the volume thing, but it sounds right to me. That's how I live my life. Same as a few. Oh, man. Bi-weekly, twice per week? Not every other week? I don't know. I've seen it mean both. Same thing with bi-monthly. I've seen bi-monthly mean twice a month and every second month. I think you just have to clarify every single time. I was coming out here because the zone was switching over. There was something else I wanted to do. What was it?
I have many lucky do's.
I don't remember. I don't need to put any of these items on because I have heirlooms in all of these slots.
A moment of your time, Warlock. The Council of the Blackheart.
I've never in my life heard someone describe something as semi-monthly. You might be absolutely correct, but practically I've never, ever, ever seen that phrase. Which doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There's a lot of things I haven't seen in life, but... Classic survival moment last season? Or survivor moment last season. A guy thought several meant 7 because the word starts with S-E-V-E. I could see how you could get there. People get real heated about whether or not a couple specifically refers to 2, or if it could also be like, you know, more than 2, but like less than 5. It's you'll get people real heated about that one. What about a few? Yeah.
I wonder what Azeroth is trying to tell us with these echoes.
This leveling's been going quite fast. I feel like once I get to 50, the rest of it's just gonna zip by. What else am I gonna... I know I want to do bag and bank cleanup. What else do I want to do before the War Within? I'll need to go through my war bank, actually, and equip everybody. You know, spend the rest of these echoes as needed. And get my army of alts as much gear as I can reasonably get them. I'm certainly not getting everybody geared up. But I should be able to find a home for every item that's dropped for me when I was farming the event on my max level character. As well as... And then be able to buy a few extra pieces for characters that I know I want to level like early. Transmog going to each armor type, getting so much more from old content. I was so excited to start farming Mog when the pre-patch hit. And then when we got that post about how the armor set pieces in the quests are going to be even better in like 1105, it actually took the wind out of my sails a little bit. Even though there's plenty of transmog that you can farm just as well now as after those changes. You know, things that are not from quests and are not in dungeons that drop tier items and not tier tokens. I still like calm down for my Mog farming because I'm like, well, it'll be even better then. I want to do some quest Mog farming after that change to figure out where am I actually missing quest transmog from in the long term. Where am I actually missing quest transmog from after that change goes in? Because they said it would be retroactive, so I'm holding them to that. What am I missing? What quests have I literally never done? Because there must be some. I have Lore Master, but that doesn't mean I've done every quest in the game.
I wonder what Azeroth is trying to tell us with these echoes.
Hear me out. Couple is 2. Few is 3 to 4. Several 5 to 7. Finished up on unfinished quests right now, so I get all the mods when that goes live. 5 to 9. I don't know. If I went on a trip and I said I brought several shirts with me, and I whip out 9 shirts, I don't know. That's too many. That's too many for me. If I say I'm going on a trip and I'm gonna bring several outfits, in my brain that's 3. Right? Like it's I guess it's different to different people. 3 is a few though. I'm just thinking of the suitcases here. Kitty cat finally settled down. She's snoozing on my lap. She's very cute. These ones I don't know. I guess I can follow these people actually to find out what the next preferred event is. Of these ones, Tadpoles, Ceratus, Lumber Crusaders, and Champion Blade. I guess people want Tadpoles because it's right here. The trick is to go to whatever it's thing. Several means more than one, so you're right. See, now I just want to pack for a vacation. Tadpoles. Lumber over Tadpoles? Well, Tadpoles happen pretty fast. Champion's Call's gonna just right back up now, so we can go back there. Did I pick up the daily? I don't think I did. I'll have to grab it before the Lich King. Riot Girls Gaming, thank you for the 51-month resub. Lumber's a terrible event. Tadpoles usually goes quick. Okay. 51 months. Gosh. Packing's the best part of the vacation. Choosing what books to bring is so much fun for me. Oh. Mini bosses and then Tadpoles, then Lumber. So we're pretty much never kissing frogs, right? That's like a pass from everybody. I always leave this one before it's over. I kill one of the bosses and I go, yep, good job. And then I like mount up and leave. And then I usually have to turn around by the time I realize that it wasn't actually over yet. Fly around until you find a group and then just follow them. Yeah, that might be the thing. Maybe you're also supposed to just join like a pre-made group, but I've always been pretty happy doing this one on my own. What is this? Oh, that's create a soul well. I'm like, why am I casting this in my rotation? What does this button do? Oh, health stones. Hello. Excellent person. Hello. Excellent person. Happy Saturday. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. I was watching a show about obscenely rich people in Korea, and this one woman who's like really into fashion and does some kind of work in that area was talking about how she will never ever ever wear an outfit more than once because she thinks that it'll never be as special as the first time that you wear it. So it would be like, you know, disrespectful to the clothes to put them on again. And I know she's talking about like couture dresses and stuff and not necessarily like her PJs. I'm hoping that there are some things that she'll wear more than once. I think that you could easily take it out of context. But I was looking at that and I'm like, oh man, that is a very different way of living. That is a very unique way of looking at it. Although I think the whole point of watching a show like that is to kind of exult in how much you can't relate. The clothes, darling. Sometimes I think, especially with an expansion coming out, I should be glamming up more to help portray I don't know, hype and luxury, you know. Get us really excited to stream. But, you know, we can be excited in the same sweatpants. I feel like my dog can slobber on nice clothes just as easily as he can slobber on my joggers, so like who's to say? Happy with how fast the ring was to get in this event. Entertaining in its own way. Yeah. I like stuff like that. I like watching ridiculous people talk about themselves. It's very fun to me. We can be excited and comfy. Every once in a blue moon, I'll be like, listen, I'm micro famous. I should be dressing like a star. And then I'll think about my wardrobe and then I'll be like, you're not going to put any of that stuff on. Even if you owned it, you wouldn't. Oh, I got another cape. Wow, that was I was trying to clap like a seal and I missed my own hand. Kitty, I need help. I got another cape. I got another cape. I am actually getting lucky with the cloaks. I can't believe it. I got this one. To the point they probably wouldn't mind us laughing. Yeah, I'm sure they're fairly satisfied with their own lives and their egregious amounts of wealth. I don't think they really mind what I think of them. Is that the sound of one hand clapping? But yeah. Sometimes I think about wearing more elaborate shirts and tops, but the really nice thing about like a comfy t-shirt that's crew neck is that I'm unlikely to accidentally flash anybody. I'm not against showing my collarbone. I do have one. It is there. It's just that I'm not very conscious of when I'm like I'll get up from stream and I'll like lean over my desk to grab a water bottle or to like type something. And I'm not trying I'm not trying to get banned because I forgot I was wearing like a V-neck. You have a collarbone? Clavicles in this stream? Absolutely not. Oh, I'm level 50. This is going so fast.
It seems Azeroth has no need for his
Ankles on stream. Goodness. I was thinking about if I ever one day set up my stream in a way where I could do like a yoga warm-up before we like sit down in game in like the context of a longer stream. Where on earth do you put the camera so that you're not like, I don't know, trying to be scandalous? And it's kind of a hard question because there's a lot of angles that you wouldn't necessarily want there to be a camera right behind you or in front of you. Whenever I'm in a yoga studio, I'm just really glad that everybody else is focused on them because nobody needs to be seeing me and my sweaty legs attempting to bend. Tadpoles. Yeah, every angle's got pros and cons. It would be easy enough in the right outfit. Some things end up being more revealing than others, but it would be a hard thing to get away with unless you were trying to give a certain impression, which I usually try to avoid. Side view, perpendicular. The trouble is that a lot of these frontal folds, you would either be going right down the front or you would be going right at the back. there's not really a great answer because they're done sideways on the mat. It's not really an awesome version. I guess if you had a high enough top on, you would do it from the right side. Ziano, thank you for the 32-month resub. Hi Hazel, how's it going? Hello. It's going pretty good. I'm starting to get infected with expansion launch hype. I guess 1 week away was my number. But also, if I ever did that, I would have to. It would be like long because it would be like. I feel like it would be not a very good opener to stream to get people in because I would be basically not talking for like 50 minutes, an hour, and then I would probably want to go shower and then come back. It would be like one of those super long things where you're like, we're gonna do this for an hour, and then I'm gonna take like a 20-minute break, and then I'm gonna come back and do my makeup on stream because I took that off in the shower, and I also wasn't wearing it for yoga because that would be crazy. And then we can play some games. I'd have to be doing that thing where you just stream all day. Lois, thank you for the 3-month resub.
Are these Azeroth's memories or ours?
Oh, Wilfred Fizzlebang. This is empty. Why is the water gone? What time is it? It's 10:16. Give another 15 minutes and I can refill it when I get up. An event for the Hazel Streamathon, clearly.
Thank you, High Lord.
Thank you, High Lord.
I will begin the ritual of summoning.
These echoes must be contained.
Why is the rum gone?
Prepare for
Nice kitty cat.
Aha! I have
But that would have to be in a different place because I literally don't have anywhere that I can spread the mat out and also like have a camera. Right now, if I'm doing yoga at home, I'm doing it in a hallway that is basically the same width as my yoga mat. So if I start to fall over, which happens, if I start to fall over, I just hit the wall. Like, I don't fall all the way down to the ground because I can bonk off the wall. I'm sure my neighbors hate me. And some things you have to kind of like worm your way into because you don't have enough clearance on either side to actually like move. So yeah, maybe not this place. Maybe another one. I forget my water bottle's empty every time I try to drink from it again, then I finally get up and refill it. I exclusively tell how much water is in my water bottle by shaking it and hearing what it sounds like. I've gotten very used to doing that over the years because they're all opaque. They're all steel water bottles. I don't think I've used like a clear plastic one since I used to have like a Camelback Eddie back in like 2015 or something like that, but I've been using these ones for ages, so you can't see through them, so you just end up shaking them and listening for the pitch. If it's high pitch, there's not that much water in there. Also, if you were smart, you could just be like, wow, this is heavy, there's water in it, but you know, let's not expect too much from ourselves.
Here we go again. Quite literally.
Crime novels. Fun to read. It sounds like a good vacation read. I always bring a tablet with me that I can read books on when I'm travel, but that's because I can't fall asleep without it. I've read books on an iPad before bed for so many years that it's not impossible. I can fall asleep without it, but it feels really weird because I'm very used to like the bedtime story. And I'll get nervous when I'm getting close to finishing my book because I have to pick out what I'm going to read next, even if it's just a reread, because if there's nothing to read, then I'm in trouble. Wish cloaks were common everyday clothes. I mean, listen, trends have to start somewhere. Be the change that you want to see in fashion. Easter crime is a thing. TV stations air reruns of crime shows. People read crime novels on Easter vacation. Interesting. Oh, time for tadpoles. Prefer paperback books, but I really love having a Kindle now. I always said that one day, if I ever like really settled down and I didn't feel like I was going to move again, I would look through my digital book collection and I would figure out what my very favorite books are that I really love to reread. And then I would acquire hard copies of those specific books that I already really love. But then I feel like I wouldn't even read the hard copy because I'm like, well, I could just read the digital copy and then I'm not putting any wear and tear on the actual book. Because when I was growing up, before I had a digital thing to read on, I would read my books into shreds. I'm not very nice to my things sometimes. I'm not always very mindful of how I'm, especially books. Like, I fall asleep reading them, so they end up crumpled in bed. They fall off the bed. I used to read novels in the bathtub and then drop them in, and then they would be wet. I'm sure that's sacrilegious to a lot of people, and you're not wrong. I am a monster, but like, that's the one nice thing about the tablet is that I can read them through and through and through, and they don't ever get like dog-eared or torn or stained or anything. Bookshelf as a trophy case is a vibe just coming to grips with. Yeah, I don't want to be somebody that like. All right, that sounds awful. That sounds like I'm judging anybody that does. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but for myself and my own home, I don't want to collect things just for the sake of having them. Which I know sounds crazy when I'm sitting in front of a shelf full of plushies. Which I guess I have for the sake of having, but those are like a set for me. Like, that's like the background. And then my other plushies, those are for hugs, you know. I bring those with me when I travel. I take them with me in the car when I'm driving. If I didn't have a dog that wanted to kill them, I would take them with me to the couch when I was watching TV. You know, they're for something. Bathtub reading is exactly why I stopped lending books. I don't blame you. Backups if and when they're no longer available online? Yeah, I guess so. I used to know someone that would mark their place in paperback books by ripping out the page they read. Okay, that's way too far. That's diabolical. Favorites that I got as hardcovers to display in the living room. Yeah, I guess if I framed it to myself as this is home decor. But then is it sad that I have a book that I don't read? I have to read it at least once. Finished leveling my last non-70s, just doing the event to get the gear to 480. Nice. Common in backpacker communities. That makes more sense to me. Like if you have like a copy that's a paperback, that's a copy of something that you know you could easily get another copy of, and you need it to be lighter as you go. I've heard of people doing that, like on huge backpacking trips. Like they read as they go, and then they like rip out pages, which are hopefully biodegradable. That's a bit different. But like at home, absolutely not. Turned in the Dragonflight supplies I had for gold. Nice, 60k. Alright, come on guys, let's finish this lumber and we can go do a better one. Oh wow. The talent points really stack up quite fast. So, I know Jiraxis just spawned, but I feel like Thorm's done. Let's go do Jiraxis. Oh no, let's do Lich King time, Lich King time. Finally got the shield. Congratulations. Very nice. Was that the last thing that you needed? I've known other people that throw books that they finished away. I've known a lot of monsters in my life. It was what I wanted most, so nice. Dad would pick up cheap paperbacks in airports to read on the plane. That sounds kind of fun. I could see myself doing that if I traveled a lot. Just something to make a travel day a little better, of being like, oh hey, I get a new book. I get to find out what it says. Like there's nothing quite like reading a book for the very first time, especially if it's something that you know you're gonna like. It's like a genre that you're a big fan of, or an author that you know you like. I could see that like really picking up a travel day, especially if you're gonna be hanging out in airports and planes for ages. Donate books when you're done with them, right? Yeah. I'm lucky that here in Victoria, there's actually, you know those tiny libraries that some places will have where it's like just like a little box on a post in like neighborhoods, and it's basically open, you know, you take a book, you leave a book kind of thing. Those are absolutely everywhere here. Like the whole city is just infested with them in the neighborhoods. So you can walk, you know, 10 minutes in any direction and you can find one. So if I ever have any books that I don't want to keep for myself anymore, I can literally just go drop them off in any library ever. Which means, like any of those little boxes, which means that, like there's kind of a flow of books through the community. Sometimes a family member will like see one that they think somebody will like, so they pick it up and they pass it on to them, and it's like, oh, if you don't like it, or if you're finished with it, you can just put it back into the ecosystem. It's pretty cute. Love those neighborhood book boxes. Remember back in the day, airport bookstores would have pseudo rentals. Buy a book and get a credit towards your next book when you return it style. Is anybody rescuing tadpoles? Or are we doing lumber? Someone's doing tadpoles. There's at least one other person here. Not too many of those in my neighborhood. Might be kind of cool to start one. Yeah, I don't know how much they cost to, like, install and establish. Some of them are definitely better than others in terms of keeping the elements off the books and having shelves that are tall enough for the different books. There's so many here that they can be designated into, like, some of them are like just for children's books. Some of them will have like different themes, but it's always nice when you're out for a walk to just kind of stop by and see what, you know, what's there, if there's anything new, because there's always something new. The things that I usually take from them are cookbooks. If I see a cookbook in one of them that's like kind of interesting to me, I'll pick it up and take it home, and then I'll try a few recipes from it, and then I'll put it back into one of those book boxes when I'm done with it. Because I like cooking from like physical hardcover cookbooks, but I have a curse where if I I buy the cookbook, you know, I spend the like 40 Canadian dollars to have an actual like new copy. I will make 2 recipes from it and then never again. It has to be borrowed for me to actually cook anything from it. I don't know what it's about. Don't mind me hardcasting demon bolts. Everything's fine. Little libraries. pantries for food. Yeah, there's a few of those too. Had to get rid of 90% of my books for an international move. 7+ years ago, it still hurts. I know a little bit about what that's like, but I definitely, at a certain point, I stopped getting books because I knew I was going to keep moving. I feel that way about some of the plants that I've had to leave behind. There's a maple tree that's long gone now. I have a new one. I got a new one of that same type, but it's not quite the same. Hello, ma'am. Hello. Happy Saturday to you. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. The cookbook for an unlimited time when you buy it, so you don't need to make a lot. Yeah, but like I'm borrowing cookbooks where I'm not borrowing them from a real library. There's no deadline to turn it back in.
Thank you, High Lord. Now, challengers, I will begin the ritual of summoning. When I am done, a fearsome doom guard will appear. Prepare for oblivion.
I like taking photos of my mom's favorite recipes when I'm visiting her, and then I'll have that digital photo to cook off of at home. Ahoy, Stumpy! Thank you for the bits. Happy weekend. Just one more week to the new expansion. It's almost here. It's so close.
You are bound to me.
I've been horrifically uncreative in cooking. I've been meaning to make some stuff for ages, and I'll buy the ingredients for it, and by the time dinner time comes around, I am useless. I have not been on top of it recently. I go through phases. Annoyer, thank you for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. I'm always flattered when somebody picks me for their Prime sub. Yeah, I think this expansion launch might feature some pre-made frozen food. It's not the healthiest thing, but it's food and it's cheaper than takeout. And there may also be some takeout involved. Let's not lie to ourselves. Argent Trials. This is the pre-patch for the new expansion. The new expansion launches next week. Early access starts on the 22nd. On next Thursday, early access will start. Any word on when the character restore will come back? I haven't heard anything. Mid-70s edition of Joy of Cooking. Huge section about ingredients. From Julia Child? Lumber? Lumber. Mountains. Not lumber. Not sure if I should get it or not. Are you in the mood to play World of Warcraft, I guess is the question to ask yourself. Nerdy Old Geek, thank you for the 2-month resub. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. How much does it cost in WoW Gold? The token price will probably be a bit different now, but I paid about 2.5 mil to buy the fancy version with the early access and everything. Roughly. Sissy, thank you for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. And to Loopy with an 18-month resub. Holy smokes, guys. I miss cooking. One of those things I can't do. Too many spoons required. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Do you have a favorite dish to cook? I make a mean vodka pasta. I like my yam sandwich. I make a yam and onion sandwich on ciabatta. That's pretty tasty. I like it a lot. I do it with like a garlic aioli. Maybe some spinach if I've got some of that. Maybe a nice cheese, a little Havarti melted on there. I also make a serviceable lentil curry. And sometimes I'll mix it up and I'll do it with chickpeas or something. But the lentil version is usually the best one. Telezra, thank you for the brand new. Or for a gift. I appreciate it. Yam sandwich sounds amazing. They're pretty tasty. It's nice because it's something that can come together in about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how slow you are at peeling and chopping a potato. But I'm one of those people that when you look at a recipe and it's like, it's going to take you 10 minutes to prep and then it'll take you 30 minutes to cook. I can easily triple prep time and still not make it. Like, I feel like whenever recipes give an amount of time required to prep ingredients, they are considering that you're doing it for the 150th time in your life and you're very efficient. And I'm just not that efficient. I'm moving all over the place. I'm taking way too many trips to put like little veggie bits in the compost. I'm messing with the music to make sure the tunes are right. I'm looking for my tools because my kitchen is medium organized at best. And also, I just don't chop that fast. If I tried to chop it like if I tried to staccato chop up a vegetable, I'm gonna be down a finger. Sinistral, thank you for the 2-month resub. Appreciate it. Oh man, you guys got a hype train going. We haven't had one of those in ages. That's fun. Opposite, tend to be vague with prep. Just throw whatever it is in there. Enjoy cooking with a slow cooker on the weekend. Take an hour or two, and it says will take 30 minutes. It's especially if there's a lot of like cleaning and chopping and prepping vegetables, particularly if there's something, a butternut squash, I don't even bother anymore. I don't even bother because like if it's like, hey, just peel and chop this butternut squash, I'll be like, sure, cool. I will go get my hatchet. Don't mind me. I need an axe and a stump to break this thing open. I can wage war on a squash for a shocking amount of time, and they're delicious. They make really yummy soups and stuff, but like, oh man. Roland Abyss, thank you very much for giving out some gift subs. 5 gifts. That's Crassus who picked him up. You guys are leveling that train right up. Holy moly. If you're doing that too, chopping off parts of things I need. You'd think that it'll never happen to you, but I did it when I was a kid. And I've always been cautious about chopping ever since. Like I can prep things reasonably fast, but not especially hard stuff like that. I got chop happy with carrots when I was a tween, and took off the tip of my finger, and luckily it taped right back on. It's just a scar. It's not anything, you know, it's not gone. But I've definitely been a little more cautious ever since. Forbringer, thank you for the 27-month resub. Appreciate it. Garlic and shallots take me the longest. My eyes are watering. I stick my head in the freezer. Don't know if that's weird, but it works. Whatever works for you. I have no shade for however anybody else wants to manage their onion tears. I have goggles. I have the sickest pair of goggles. They were very cheap on Amazon. It's like swim goggles, but with like a foam barrier that puts them on your face. And every time I mention them on stream, someone's like, that's so dumb. You don't need that. It's not that bad. And I'm like, you don't know me. I will be blinded by tears and in considerable pain. I need the goggles. And then every time we get to having this conversation, someone's like, listen, you just got to put a piece of bread in your mouth and stand in one leg and it's fine. It's like, I'm really happy that works for you. Shaydux, thank you for giving out 5 gift subs. Appreciate it. Happy to hear you still use the onion goggles. I have actually, not to put any shade on my onion goggles, I still have them and they are precious to me, but I have leveled up to some new tech that means that I don't need the goggles, which is that I have one of those like slap chopper things that's like a, doing the alligator is very helpful here. I have that, I don't know, I think I'm not on TikTok, but I think they had a moment on TikTok. It's like a container that has like a grid of extremely sharp blades on top, and you can put veggies in there and it'll cube them for you when you close the lid. I got one of those because I love me an unnecessary kitchen gadget. And when I use it for onions specifically, it contains them into that container and it chops them so fast that they don't really have time to like vaporize their juice into the air. So I find that I can get away with skipping the goggles if I'm using that thing, which I pretty much exclusively use for onions. You could chop all kinds of other things with it too. It does a good job on cucumbers and stuff, but like, that is my onion machine. Slap chop. Use my food processor. Don't even care if the pieces aren't perfect. I want one of those. The one thing I will say, if you do get one, is respect the blades. It is so easy to slice yourself when you're cleaning or like eat. Like I knew because I'd read reviews online of people being like, this thing worked really good, but be very careful when you're cleaning or removing these blades because they're extremely sharp. And I was like, yeah, I'll be careful. And even with that in mind, and with not even being particularly careless, I've managed to slice myself pretty badly twice. Once because there was a piece of onion that was stuck on it, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to pick this off of it. Bad idea. And then secondly, because I was washing dishes, and I don't know, I like touched it. You don't even have to touch it very hard. It'll go right through you. They're so sharp. Which is good. It means that they can chop vegetables cleanly. It just means that you have to be like, I always wear gloves now if I'm going to clean them. And sometimes they cut the gloves and then you're out a pair of gloves, but like you must be extremely cautious if you want to keep your blood in your body. Saw a video of a kid that cut the tip of his finger off with one of those. Yeah, they can be very... I don't think it's safer than using a knife. It's just faster than using a knife. And I still use a knife anyway to like prep the thing in the right size to go in the thing. But if I'm trying to cube a bunch of vegetable, it's a lot faster to do it in that thing for me. But I will fully admit that it's completely unnecessary. It is totally extra. Nobody actually needs it. Get those metal fish chopping gloves. Funnily enough, whenever I do fillet fish, I just risk my life. I sharpen my knife every time. I have to sharpen my knife every time because my knife gets dulled every single time. I just have like a little flimsy Rapala fillet knife. So and then, you know, we're trying to hack up these huge, they're not huge, but they're tough, the ocean fish. And, man, the ribs on these rockfish will take the edge off any blade that they touch. So it looks so easy. Yeah. There is a mandolin attachment for this chopper thing, but I haven't even used it because I don't trust myself to try. Like, I would need to wear, like, an oven mitt, basically. There we go. Got some boots replaced. Is there anything else that I'm still wearing a white quality belt. And bracers, actually. But at least we got some gloves on at some point. What are you doing right now? I'm playing the pre-patch event, trying to level up this character. It wouldn't kill me to get a cloak transmog to drop either. There's one more cloak that I'm missing. I wouldn't be mad if it decided to drop for me. But my main goal is to get this warlock to level 70. Hazel, do you ever put your bass in a blender? No. Do you? Last night was our anniversary. Went to Benihana. Got ideas for grilling zucchini. Oh, happy anniversary. That sounds lovely. My fourth last cup of coffee of the day. I am getting a little better at filleting the fish, but it's going to take me a few more years and a bunch more fish to be any properly good at it. And I also kind of want like another knife. The one that I have now does a perfectly fine job on like freshwater fish, but ocean fish are like armored. They're really tough to get through. Last vault is Tuesday. Gotta open it before the expansion drops Thursday. Is that true? No idea. Got the shield after 61 levels. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Champion's call. Why would we be blending bass? This is a meme, isn't it? This is a reference that's going over my head. I'm imagining a real fish. I know that like there's some very like high cuisine restaurants that will like turn strange things into foam so that they can put bubbles on a plate and pretend that they've served you dinner. But I don't think I've ever really wanted my fish to be foamy. SNL Bassabatic. Oh. Chain gloves are a godsend. Cost like $15. Probably worth it eventually. I wear my fishing gloves, but they won't help me if my knife really comes through fast. They just help me keep a steady grip on the fish. I did get a fish scaler. I got like a brass fish scaler, which you don't need. You can totally scale fish with like a spoon, but the scaler does such a nice job and I feel so fancy using it. Multi-boxing 5 dwarves to get those darn cloak log. Oh man. Old SNL Dan Aykroyd content. Oh. Uchi, do you have any references? And I mean this in the most respectful way possible. Are there any references you've ever put in chat that are newer than 1995? It's not a problem. I think they're very charming. I love having you here. I'm so confused about how you got here. The older, the better. Oh, man.
You see, in Azeroth, there's no need for historical records.
It's still empty. I think we need to take a break. After Thorum, I'll take a break and I'll refill that. I'm just gonna keep doing that same thing over and over again. Older the better. My cultural education does have some serious blind spots. Can use all the help I can get. Knocked off work, got a 30-mile commute home, dropping in. Said hello, in case you're offline when I get back. you willing to say something bad about WoW today? I mean, what do you what do you want me to say? It's just a weird thing to get heated about, I guess, you know. Like wonder if Twitch has some sort of senior citizen discount. I don't even feel like I'm I feel like I'm as critical of the game as is reasonable. You know, it's not like we pretend everything's perfect. It's just there's always something to enjoy. I'm a glass half full kind of person. Most of the time. I think Garrosh is a rude boy. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to go refill my water. I'll be back. Man, the curls on the back of my neck are starting to get kind of mullety, and I'm kind of into it. I'm brave. I'll say it. Female gnomes should have more face options. I'm down for any more gnome options altogether. You hear about the guild banks that now have no items in them? I heard there was something going on with the guild banks. I'm sure they'll get it sorted out at some point. Wow, for me it's like pizza. Even the bad pizza is still pizza. It's only game. Why do you have to be mad? Mullets are back, I think. Glad to hear it. I've seen them around. There's a couple of good mullets walking around this city. I could be one more. Also leveling a warlock. What spec would you recommend for Echo? Whatever feels comfy to you. The spec really doesn't matter. Your DPS doesn't really matter. You don't even need to hit the mobs as long as you are at the event. You don't even need to tag stuff if you don't want to. It's whatever feels right. I have 2 gnomes in my camp now. They need more options. Just never played a warlock. Not mad. Love WoW. Always loved it since I started the Lich King. Gnomes don't have a true natural brown hair color discovered yesterday. Do they not? I thought they did. I mean, I've never used it, but is it just like the fun ones? If you tag the rares, you get half the XP. That's a good tip. I have a brown hair gnome. I thought they did. Well, now I want to go look. I know mecha gnomes have mecha gnomes have exclusively natural hair colors, which drives me crazy because they have voluntary cybernetic enhancements and they're drawing the line at hair dye. I think they're just trying to make them look visually distinct from not mecha gnomes, but it was always very funny to me. Brown adjacent color, kind of reddish. Oh, okay. Trying to see if I can get to the mythic Farak for the bird form for my druid. The mount's really cool too. And the hunter pets. I'm a brunette. I know brown hair. I want to look at it now. Oh, we're level 58. I feel like once we get to 60, I think I can totally actually finish this alt today. I think we can get her. I thought it was going to take 2 days, and I think we can get her to 70 today. Artemirs, thank you very much for the 6-month resub. Happy half a year. Purple hair is a travesty. Metallic arms are fine, though. Yeah. Removed eyeballs in favor of eyeballs with autofocus. A-okay. Radios instead of ears? Bring them on. Purple hair? Excuse me. We are professionals. It'll log over, check after this next Lich King kill. That is a good tip. Trying for the offhand. I actually got it earlier today. I'm just finishing off leveling the Warlock. Because she's getting close. And there is one more cloak that I don't have yet. I've managed to get 2 of the 3 cloaks, which I'm really pleased with. But there's one more that could drop. Ever notice your hands turn into propellers when you're swimming as a mechanome? Yeah, it's phenomenal. I don't remember when we saw that, but there was a moment where we all discovered that together, and it was really cool. They have an amazing swim animation. It's hard to get a pink dye when you're on an isolated island with no trade partners. Well, then what about... They're painting their mecha cats. There was a whole thing where there were, like, buckets of paint. I know paint isn't exactly the same as dye, but I don't know. Never noticed that about the mecha gnomes swimming. Doesn't making me want another Mechanome. I have one, don't I? I have a... Oh, that's right. I have my Mechanome Mistweaver Mollywobble, the Mistweaver Monk. Because an alliteration is a good reason for a character. There was a rare, too, where you had to, like, bring paint to either spawn it or something on the island itself. I forget the details, but I remember covering people in different colors of paint. Are you praying for RNG for the cloak? It'll be nice if it happens, but if it doesn't happen by the time she's 70, then I probably just won't get it. I don't think I want to level another character. This is already one more than I thought I was going to do. Uncle Trog, that's right. Had a Mecha Mage in Shadowlands. Yeah, I had a Fire Mage. I did a little Mythic Plus on her, actually. I wanted to see what the big deal was, because all the Fire Mages in my life were, like, riotously happy. They were just jumping up and down, doing insane damage, and I wanted to see what the fun was all about.
These echoes must be contained.
There's a secret molten red paint, even. You had to hear the color it was grumbling about. That's right! And then people would put it in chat. People are afraid to say they like Mechanomes, been afraid to try them. Bet they'll like them if they try one. I think gnomes in general are a little bit niche to begin with, and then the concept of a gnome that doesn't even wear as much transmog as gnomes wear is a bit of a put-off for a bunch of people. But there are Mechanome fans. They do exist. Just jumps so we don't hardcast Pyro. Yeah, it's fun though. It looks exciting. Yeah, if you unlock Heritage Armor and mounts on the character, and you delete the character, you'll keep those things in your account. You'll only be able to wear the Heritage Armor on a character of the relevant race. So if that was your only character of that race, you won't be able to wear it on like a different alt. But if you then make another character of that same race, you would already have those things unlocked. One of the first things I noticed the first time I tried playing a gnome was how they feel like they're running faster than they are because their models are so small, and you feel like you're covering more ground. Whereas when I would play like an enormous race like a Tauren, I would feel like I was moving very slowly when I was just running around because they're so big. It like changes your perspective on how fast you're moving, even if it's the same movement speed. Yeah, Zandalari Paladins have their own mount. Gnomes jump so high! I got my mom to play, and she has 2 gnomes in my account. One on retail, one on classic. Tough when I played at a Tauren because they felt so slow. Okay, so yeah, we could probably, if people are feeling done. I don't know, Jiraxis is so fast. If anybody else goes to do it, it would be just like a little bit more experience. I don't know if anybody will, though. It's definitely the Lich King's not going to be coming back up again. Love for them to add Mechanome Druids with a mechanical bunny. I would want to see the Mecha Bunny as the travel form. I think that would be really good. Gnomes can't be shamans? Just can't. That's fair.
We are all haunted by the memories of Northrend. And now they've
My favorite thing as a gnome is to meet with other random gnomes and start a conversation about how elves are bad. Oh. Is Vinny here? Yeah, Vinny's here. Mechanome Druid would be fun. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, once we get into 10 levels left, I feel like this will go really fast. Wouldn't the travel form just be like a bike? They turn into the bike. They turn into the wheel. Is that still a druid at that point? There has to be some kind of an animal connection. Becomes the Junkheap Drifter. Don't mind me not having it. It's 5.7% of people that have this mount when I don't. It's my own fault. I never farm it. I can't stand camping Rustfeather. It's so boring. It used to feel better when I was able to tag it 2 or 3 times per spawn. By like logging out and logging back in very quickly, but it dies so quickly now that it's hard to get extra tags, and I couldn't be bothered to even try. It was too disappointing when I would log in just like a second too late. Ow, 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 ow. I don't know what hurt me. Warlock main? No. No, 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 no. My main's gonna be my Gnome Priest. Holy, and then also Shadow. My DPS alt is my Hunter that we just finished leveling, that Night Elf Hunter. And then I've got the other two are a little more up for grabs on the, at least for the favorite screen. But those two will be kind of like my two big alts. I'm gonna have one tank that I play at least a little bit. Right now it's looking like Barnacles the Bear Druid. The Kultiran Bear Druid. And then, oh, let's just, we'll take the portal. And then after that, PvP character. I guess I'm not ready to give up in PvP. It's just so boring to watch. And if I'm not doing it on stream, I'm not doing it. Oh. Wouldn't even go as far as saying Hazel Warlock 4th alt. Yeah, no. Even if I was going to use a Warlock as a 4th alt, it probably wouldn't even be this one. It would probably be Boy. This was just a character to farm for the offhand. And a reason to wear the, use the Minari Eridar, customization options. Any bear skins for Barnacles? I mean, I could use the one from the World Boss. But, and I have the Werebear. I kind of like the default bear skins. I don't know what Barnacles' bear customization is right now. He might have Werebear. If you've never met him, this is Barnacles over here on my campfire screen. He's a Kultiran. He's got like this dock worker transmog going on right now. I hate that this sheet's upside down because it looks like it's just toast in his buns. And then this is the new hunter that I just got set up pretty recently. And by that I mean like the last 2 days. This is my main. Isn't she cute? And then this is my PvP character. I was gonna check. Oh yeah, that's right. We were just looking at gnome hair colors. We were discussing whether or not we've got like, so that's their brown. There's also like an orange. You're right, it does kind of look like it's been bleached out. It's like a very brassy brown. But I don't know if it's for me to say that nobody has that hair color naturally. Angry face. Yeah, I'll check Barnacles' bear forms. I'm still only like 80% sold on him being my tank alt. Other options include... I'm not really going to be a tank demon hunter. He looks great, but I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I have a couple of warriors that I could use if I wanted to be a prot warrior. But I think the main candidates, if I wasn't going to do Barnacles for tanking, just as like an alt, would be either Anthus, my prot paladin here, or this is my Blood Death Knight. Both of those characters are spec for tanking. It drives me nuts that she's taking up such a small part of this screen. Like, Anthus gets to have his head nearly underneath the menu. And she's not tiny, but it's just the Death Knight screen, I guess. I want to say 2770s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 20, yeah, 2770s, and then we're working on number 28 here. Well, we'll take a second. We're just kind of waiting for the next event to roll over anyways. I want to look at his bear forms. DK screens always bothered me. Scary looking at Barnacles like it should have been me. I have 55. That's quite a few. It's more than I had for a long time. For most of Dragonflight, I had like 15 70s. So pre-patch and remix have both definitely contributed. All right, so he's using this one. That's what he's using right now. He's got one of the owl bears. There's a barber shop in Borealis. I just want to go see what my other options are. There is a red skin color that can be unlocked for Draenei. It doesn't have to be just for Warlock. You could be a red skin Draenei of any class that you like. There's a short quest line that unlocks them. I always had a hard time finding this barber shop. It was like I found out that it existed really late in the game. It's like on this side, I think. You come down these stairs. I'm too proud to ask a guard. Is it here? Or have I gotten into the hostile? There it is. Yeah, there's randomly a barber shop here. I managed to play like most of BFA without realizing there's a barber shop right here. Anyways, bear forms. What else do we have? So I'm using the white umbral claw. Yeah, we have a few. These are the Kultiran ones. I think these are really good. These are Legion artifact appearances, I think. Got a couple of stone bears. I have a couple of like these bright outlined ones. Not content with being a chicken as a moonkin. Also made him a bird and bear form. Talents for mythic. I don't really mythic grade. I'm not really using good talents right now. I was gonna figure out my talents at level 80 for the War Within, based on whatever the Wowhead guide wants me to do. Red glowing bear? You like that one? It's very bright. He looks like he's advertising some kind of candy or energy drink. These ones are fine. I think I used to use those. No, I use these ones. I like the ones with the ribs and the spine on their back. And then there's the werebear. There's the rune bear. Oh, I didn't realize they had the same skeleton for some reason. And then Umberclaw. I've got one Umberclaw. I don't have any of these guys, actually. These are cute. I don't know if they're very barnacles, though. That's got acorns on it. That's very neat. Wolfsy the Sleeper, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. Yeah. It just doesn't read barnacles. I want something that, like, feels, I don't know, port towny, oceany, dock adjacent. I want which I guess is not bears. Maybe like a salmon fishing bear. Barnacly. Yeah, I want something that feels barnacly. I don't know if any of these really feel barnacly. Maybe one of the stone paws. Those are a little bit more mountainous than anything. I'll probably just leave him in this thing. It's too cute for him. Barnacles is a lot of things, but he's not like traditionally adorable. He's cute in his own little way. Famously seafaring race, the bear. I mean, yeah. You never seen a polar bear swim before? I mean, I've never seen a polar bear swim, but I saw it on TV once. I'm cultured. I don't know. Am I missing any that I would like better? Acorn bear? Pollen-fused bristle bruin fur sample. How do I get that? I'm wow hitting it. Pollen-fused bristle bruin fur sample. Contained in a container in the Emerald Dream. After handing in the final quest, Overseer Oversight from Aviana. Loot the fur. Hang on. You need to complete Overseer Oversight to be able to see it. It's the final quest of the chain that starts with Konzu. If you haven't already started, it became available. Chapter 4-7. Okay. So it's just questing. I think they lost me. I don't know. None of them really scream barnacles. Maybe there'll be more in the War Within. Yeah, the other one's a rare drop, but the little acorny color wasn't. What does barnacles look like? Here, let me unsheath his weapon so it's like front set out. This is my boy. This is my Kultiran. My Kultiran bear druid. He is wearing the Stevedore skull cap from the transmog vendors for Trial of Style coins, I'm pretty sure. Hidden shoulder, hidden cloak, hidden chest piece, shifty merchant's tunic, may or may not be trading post. Precious ribbon, hidden. Transmog. This is the Archivist Spelunking Torch from the Azerothian Archives, from the Big Dig event. And then we've hidden the gloves, we've got a Seafarer belt, some Sinful Inquisitor's leggings. Those are actually Venthyr legs. Random pair of boots. Fairly straightforward. Rumham12345. Thank you for the 8-month resub. Appreciate it. He's a roustabout. I love the beanies. I adore all the casual clothes that they make for this game. I want more options. I want more shirts. Thinking of trying it Final Fantasy XIV. It's very good. Needs more flannel. Don't know if the Venthyr pants are conducive to dock work. I think when I picked them, it was just because they looked like normal pants to me. They might be like a little shiny, but they just seemed reasonable. All right, we got 10 levels left to go. I got 1 hour to do it. I believe. Come on, Gorilla. Alt number 28. T-shirt day was yesterday. This is true. Unless they added new ones, though. I should have them all. Yeah. I've had all the shirts from T-shirt day for a while. Unless they added something new. I didn't check. I'm excited to, after I get this character leveled, I think that'll be basically the gist of how much pre-patch event I want to play. I think I'll be about Radiant Echoed out. So, I think it'll be fun to go through my warbank and actually like distribute all of the gear that I've got so far. And then consolidate all of my currency across a few different characters, pull it all to one character, and see what else I need to buy. Went through Seam Ancient, and I bet their pants have seen much worse. Could have sworn I got the brown bristle bear form. Wasn't there anymore, still don't have the customization. Someone was saying there was an issue with it. There was a phasing issue for a while that it wasn't lootable. I don't know. Something going on. I'm so excited to mod collect in the War Within. I wonder if I'll be able to get a better, like, score than I normally get. Normally I just kind of get whatever's in front of me. And I don't stress too much about percentages. But it might be kind of fun to go at the War Within early on from an all the things percentage as opposed to just, like, late in the expansion when collecting turns around. Because I never even really got to trying to, like, complete Dragonflight Zones collecting-wise. I always tell myself I'm going to do it at the end of the expansions, but the expansion's over and I never really did it, so... I just know that whenever I open up my all the things mini list early in an expansion, there's like hundreds and hundreds of things, and they're all finicky too. They're all finicky. Did get a bunch in Mop. That's true, we are caught up. They do 100% Torghast. Doubt it. I probably did pretty good though. Let's find out. Slim Shady AFK, thank you for the 49-month resub. Appreciate it. So what would we say? Expansion features, Shadowlands, Torghast. 76%. 55 of 72 items for Torghast. Missing 10 items from broker Vikanen Vinot. Not guaranteed to have a chance to appear among the rare goods. And then 7 things from common boss drops. Because there is just tons of these shoulders in various colors. Also, apparently I'm missing the Mini Gru toy. Are you telling me it's time to go back and do more Torghast? My goodness. I thought I did better than that, to be honest with you. 76% is less good than I figured. I got everything from Twisting Corridors, I'm pretty sure. Probably South Shore View Terran Mill here.
I remember this one.
Careful with accessing the bank. People are reporting the guild bank getting emptied. Yeah, that sounds pretty dicey. Hopefully they get it fixed before people start raiding. Absolutely mopped of the mog in that. Because my overall score right now... it kind of depends which character I'm on, which is weird because it's on account mode. Solo account unique mode. But I'm at somewhere in the 63% range. I don't know why... where all the hostile mobs went. There's one. For total. Your warband is your entire roster. The 4 of the campfire is just like a favorite scene. It's just for fun. How do I make all the things? Show me the current zone only. So you want to look at the mini list. The way that I do it is in my keybinds. There's actually a section for all the things, and you can add keybinds to things. So I have a keybind for the mini list specifically, and it's different than my main list keybind. I have it keyed down to Shift Y, as in Shift Y am I doing this to myself? And that's how I'd pop it up. Elemental Shaman starter build, have too many totems. Hakar. The trick is to stay vigilant and not let it intimidate you. The biggest thing that I did to actually get into using all the things as an add-on was to stop it from auto-loading whenever I changed zones. That used to freak me out. You would be flying across different zones to go do like a world quest, and every time you came in, it would be like, look at all of the stuff you don't have. And then my brain would add "you peasant" to the end of that, because it just felt like the add-on was insulting me. It didn't mean to, but I got along with it a lot better after I disabled any auto-loading of it, and I put keybinds on it so it could be like, you don't call me, I call you. I pull this up when I'm ready to see what I don't have, and not whenever I change zones, because that was doing a real number on my focus. Simple fix play dance. Right now there are no additional warband screens to unlock. They've talked about wanting to add more in the future. We might get some in the War Within, but right now we don't have any more info on how to do it. Helped a lot against anxiety and mini lag during zone change. Sometimes not having the thing is my achievement. People probably heading to Hogger. We're at level 62 of 70. We might actually finish this with time to spare. It's been going very fast today. I guess it's the weekend. There's a lot of people playing the pre-patch event on a Saturday morning. I almost feel like with all these level 70s, like I'm never going to need to level again the old-fashioned way. And, I don't know, being in this, like, under-leveled gear makes me feel a little sad about that. Maybe I'll have to do, like, Hardcore Classic or something. There's a good excuse to start new characters that you know you're not going to keep forever. And, you know, wear ugly starter robes for 40 hours each. Or delete some again. Yeah, there's that. I don't know why we're hurting so bad. Oh. I just barely. Barely. Got that up. Oh, it's corrupted blood. Oh, okay. I just need to go be by myself for a second. That's funny.
No time for nostalgia, champion.
Do we have a... Can we drain some life from something? There we go. Hardcore remix would be interesting. If you die, you can get back in a few minutes. Remix really spoils you for leveling. Didn't even use the boost because I could just level in a silly event. Yeah, I'm back to having 2 boosts camped out on my screen. Your pet's... Oh, is it my pet? Hang on, hang on. Move to... Stay! Thank you, somebody healed me. I can't believe it was my Felguard the whole time. I was like, who around is griefing me? I don't see anybody else. I'm standing completely by myself. It's my own Felguard. That's so funny. Why is your pet trying to kill you? It's just following me around. The poor thing just didn't want to get left behind. Trying to stay with its mom at the mall. My goodness. Just like the classic Blood Plague event. Make sure we put it back on assist. Whenever I was trying to do that as a kid, I too threw fireballs at my mom. I'm pretty bad for occasionally ending up following a different person than I thought I was following, because I don't always pay a ton of attention, and I'm really good at not looking at people. My partner and I, when we're walking our dog, we'll meet lots of other people that live in the area that have their own dogs, and we'll kind of learn the dogs' names and, you know, get to know our neighbors. Except that whenever we see somebody from a distance, he's like, I wonder if that's so-and-so, because, you know, the dog looks familiar, but that's definitely not dog's name's parent. Like, wait, you know what their parents look like? Because especially if I'm meeting someone with a dog, I end up spending 100% of the time looking at the dog, and I never look at the face. I'm sure people think I'm a bit odd. I'm just a little shifty because it just doesn't occur to me to look at anybody. It's like, I don't know, I don't want to stare, but then I end up not being able to recognize anybody because I didn't look at them. People playing on your shard trying to level, like 3 people doing echoes. Sometimes it can be because your character got popped into Chromie time for some reason or another. It's extremely hard to do the event in Chromie time because there's almost nobody there. It's worth checking in with Chromie and Stormwind or Orgrimmar to ask her to return you to the present, just in case that happened to you for some reason. It shouldn't happen randomly, but there's been reports that some people end up, even if they didn't choose Chromie time. That's more important. Has Moose taken a shine to any lady dogs? Moose takes a shine to every dog ever if there's any chance that they might want to play with him. All Moose wants is to party. That's all he wants, is just to rumble. He wants to roughhouse, he wants to play, he wants to wrestle, he wants to run. And if there's any dog of any size or age that shows any interest in doing any of that, he's in love. Like, that's his only requirement, is do they want to play with me? I have the debuff again. This is a good name for a frat boy party animal. I learned the first name of one of my closest multi-year friends like 2 days ago. Social thing is weird. Oh, man. I mean, especially if it's like an online thing as well, that's pretty normal. I have neighbors that I've known for years where I'll know it'll be a couple and I'll know one of the couple's names and then the other couple ends up being so-and-so's partner because we just never asked. But yeah, Moose loves everybody. 25 of 40 pumpkins. Whenever he gets too excited about anything, pretty much anything that like pushes his excitement level over his limit, he starts just like jumping around and tossing his head and biting his leash and just like he just can't handle it. He's got a romp. Went to outdoor school. Volunteer counselor was named Moose. Turned out he was a backup guitarist for Metallica. That's pretty cool. I thought you were going to say his parents were big Archie Comics fans. I guess also possible. Stitches over here.
Are these echoes a message?
I haven't read an Archie comic in a long time, but I used to be very into them when I was a kid. I would occasionally get like one of those big multi-comic volumes of them, and I would just read it like repeatedly. I had a little collection of them and I would just rotate them. That's a blast from the past. What do you do for a living other than streaming? YouTube. But I'm a full-time content creator. Did you watch the Riverdale TV show? I tried, because I, as a former Archie Comics fan, or I guess a childhood Archie Comics fan, mistakenly thought that it was going to have more to do with Archie. And what I ended up getting was the most surreal, edgy teen show that, like, I guess vaguely used the names and likenesses from Archie Comics and had basically nothing else in common with it. It was a very different vibe. It's like, I feel like it's probably a good example of that type of show, but it was not what I was expecting to see. Like Sabrina. Yeah. Just a way to get like a little bit of IP recognition while making something that's almost completely different. Which I think is fine. I think it's fun. I just I watched the first season and then I remember feeling like I'd already watched a show like this when I watched Vampire Diaries and I didn't really need to see it again. I can't stand shows in the long term when they do the thing where they kill a character and you spend an entire episode reminiscing about them and talking about how sad it is that they're dead and how are we going to go on and how are we going to face this evil without them. And then inevitably at the end of the season they come back. And then you do it over and over and over again. Vampire Diaries was especially bad for that. They would kill characters so often that it got to a point where someone would die and I'm like, sure. If you say so. There was no more investment to be had in it. Don't get me wrong, I still love Vampire Diaries. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I had a moment in like my early to mid 20s where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it and I don't care who judges me. Sounds like you should never ever watch Supernatural. I couldn't get into it. I tried. It just wasn't my vibe. Walking Dead lost a lot of their audience by doing that. Never tried True Blood. Never crossed my radar.
I wonder what Azeroth is trying to tell us with these echoes.
These days I watch mostly like reality shows and docuseries and stuff. I don't watch a ton of fictional content anymore. I did not watch Charmed. There's some hotties in True Blood, but it goes off the rails quick. Oh, man. Pumpkins? Miss Supernatural, but it really was time for that show to end. How many seasons did they do? Wasn't it like a crazy number of seasons? I can't speak about it too much because, like I said, I haven't watched very much of it. I've seen maybe a season. But I know sometimes shows like that run into this trap where they have to keep raising the stakes, but once they've already kind of threatened cosmic doom, there's nowhere really left to raise the stakes to, and you end up in kind of an odd limbo. 15 Supernatural seasons. Holy smokes. Fell armor damage. Okay. Every time I'm hurting now, I have to double check to make sure there's no blood plague going on. Leper gnomes? Leper gnomes. Tell that to Dragon Ball Super. I tried Sandman. I couldn't. I gave it 2 episodes? 1 episode? 2 episodes. And then I dropped out of it. That's not to say it's not great. I have no taste. Once you reach cosmic doom, time travel is inevitable, and time travel is very rarely well written. Have you ever watched The 100? I gave it a couple seasons. Back like when it first came out. It was fine. I didn't stick with it. But I want to be very clear that this isn't the fault of any. I don't want anyone to get very hurt if I didn't like their favorite show. It's not because I'm too cool for it. It's just because I don't know. Yeah, people like different things. Guilty pleasure movie? Mine's, dude, where's my car? Guilty pleasure movie has to be either, I mean, guilty is a strong word. I don't guilt myself for much anymore. I have no more shame left. I would say Repo, the Genetic Opera is a favorite, and Phantom of the Opera. Got a thing for musicals. But Phantom of the Opera is a very cheesy, very corny, very extra kind of movie. Gerard Butler's just doing his best. And I love it. Oh, got a 340 ring. I guess social versus Terran Mill. What level are we? 65? Oh, we're so close. It's only 20 after 11. I bet we'll have a bit of time to maybe outfit some of these characters. I want to see how many of my alts I can get away with gearing with the gear that I already have. Because that is the one awkward thing about leveling alts, is that the whole time that you're doing the event on these sub 70 characters, you are not getting extra warband until equip pieces. You're not getting extra dollar on defender's gear to share around. You need to do it on a max. Like, you get currency that you can buy some of it for, but it's not quite as good as doing it on a... Vinny, no! Vinny, save yourself! I haven't learned anything about demo. Dead Boy Detectives, kind of like the Riverdale, set in the Sandman universe. Vinny is my Felguard. His full name is Vinik Shakur. That's my name IRL. Hey, Vinny. I can't say it without doing an awful accent. It's upsetting to everybody. So I've been doing it primarily on my main. I'm glad that I did it on my main long enough to kind of grind out all of the transmog, because that gave me a pretty good selection to put on my ult. So I'll have to see how far it goes, but I think it'll be pretty good. Red Shamrock, thank you for the 26-month resub. Hello, Hazel and chat. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. You heard it here? Stream doesn't have taste. I mean, I don't have any taste. I'm never going to try and present myself as a super high brow tastemaker. You know, I like whatever I like, and sometimes that's garbage. Distributed all my dollar on memory gear. Actually, not any fun at all. Yeah. It does sound like it's going to be a little bit annoying. I think I'm just going to log into each one at a time, pick up as many things as I can, and then maybe pull currency to buy as many things as they want. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of unnecessary currency shuffling. Connoisseur of fine film arts, yeah. A bit subjective. Chromie time was okay, but I cleared some zone-specific quests back in. Oh, there you go. Thought about creating a spreadsheet because it's so complicated. Yeah, I think it's gonna... In my head, it's gonna be very clean and easy, and in practice, it's probably gonna be very messy to find homes for all of that gear. I wonder if I ought to organize my alts by armor type or something? Was that gonna help me at all, or am I just making that up? I don't know if that'll help at all. But we got a couple more levels to go still first. I got another tome. Congratulations to me. We had it already, though. Geared 5 converted all to tier for the extra transmog for those classes. Ooh, that's a good point. I'm going to have to stop by the catalyst on basically all of them. Because there's no reason not to. Even if you think you might have the transmog already, you may as well get the tier bonus just to level in. It's a beggar excuse to make a spreadsheet. How many memories? 47 on this character. And then it looks like my hunter has 37 and my priest is basically out. So, you know, 84-ish, 84k or so, give or take. It's been fun having an excuse to ride this shale wing. I hadn't spent much time on those yet. Free 493 piece, catalyzing to normal and not LFR is messing with my set collecting. Oh. Yeah, I was lucky my hunter. It turned out to be, I got a weapon in that slice, in that slot. You can always buy a veteran version. One alt specifically to hold the warband gear so it doesn't fill up the warband. I have like 1 tab's worth, a little under 1 tab's worth of the gear. I don't think it's gonna really come close to gearing up all my characters, but I'm also not going to level them all right away. There may be some of them that I don't level for all of the War Within. I don't really have plans to get 27 or 28 War Within characters to 80. Not unless there's some good reason for me to do it. How do you transfer currency to a character that doesn't have any? Don't know. You'd have to get at least a little bit, because it won't show up in the window otherwise. I don't know if there's an add-on that works around it, but... Gorla's gonna make it to 70. Gorla is. We're at 67 now. I wasn't sure. I kind of thought I might give up after the tome dropped, but I'm glad I stuck with it because we got another cloak as well. Have we checked out all the new demon skins? I don't know if I have, actually. I don't know how you get them. Get them all leveled in the midnight pre-patch, right? I mean, it's not a bad move. It's basically what I usually do. What do you think we'll get for the 20th anniversary? No idea. I hope it's something cool and a bit different, but worst case scenario is just like another time walking raid. Like the normal anniversary. Yeah, 20% XP. Most of the demon skins drops from Legion dungeons. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Shadowlands remix, surely.
What a peculiar memory for Azeroth to show us.
Non-combat balloon pet with Thrall's face on one side and Anduin on the other. Wonder if they'll give us a way to earn old anniversary rewards. Like the Core Hound and... Didn't they put them on the, They did re-release them for something. For like the trading post or maybe a Twitch drop or something? I could have sworn they brought the old Core Hound back. The one that was like the 10th anniversary in WoD. I can't believe we've come up to 20 years. It's nutty. Have you found a use for any of the generative AIs? Not in my workflow at this time, no. The main thing that I use AI for is generating a... It can do speech recognition pretty well, or at least Adobe is using AI for speech recognition for to give you like a working video transcript while you're in the middle of editing, and it can make it very easy for me to jump. It just makes my editing process a little bit faster. And then if I do want subtitles on the video, I have like a script from which to edit. Depending on how long it is, I don't always do it, but it's a little easier for me to get actual subtitles together than it used to be. Could be useful for SEO. It's surprisingly not that good at it. You would need to be pretty skilled at what to feed it, at which point you probably have the knowledge to just do the SEO yourself. I figured there might be a gap in using generative AI to come up with like video descriptions, especially for something like a stream VOD where you're not really going to do it anyway, and it came up with the most inane, irrelevant garbage that wouldn't really help it rank in search at all. It was just filling space. So I gave up on it pretty fast. There probably is good applications for it right there, but it just didn't make it into my day-to-day. Well, gold farmers use this one trick. Probably have to talk to it for a while for it to grasp it. Yeah. Besides really good SEO, which is not something I'm an expert in, but it evolves over time. Something that worked really well in 2018 is not going to be the same thing that you need for really good optimization in 2024. And that's one of the issues with generative AIs. It's often training on data that's quite old. So it's I mean, sure it's possible, but like, I think that one's going to take a while for it to start beating people. Also, I needed that belt so badly. I had a white quality belt on still, and we got a $3.95 to drop at the very end. Holy smokes.
No time for nostalgia, champion.
No time for nostalgia. I do think it's cool there's features in photo editing software where you can remove an object and it will use generative AI to intelligently determine what it should create to fill that gap. It's not always perfect, but it can do a pretty decent job these days. So if you were trying to if you had a photo and you wanted to remove like a passerby from it for their own privacy or for your picture or whatever, it's a lot easier to do that now. It can pretty decently fill in the gap of like road or whatever it was that they were standing in front of, believably enough for like Instagram. Yeah, generative fill I think is a really, I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't take enough photos outside to have really tried it yet, but I could see that being super useful. When I took pictures in Japan to delete random barricades and people. Yeah. What are we doing?
Ragnaros threatened to swallow Azeroth in flame. No wonder she remembers him.
But yeah, text-based editing is probably the biggest thing that's actually affected my workflow, because I'm terrible at recording footage cleanly. I will often say a given sentence, especially if it's something that I'm uncomfortable about or I'm not sure how to deliver. I'll say the given sentence quite a few times to be able to spit it out correctly. And usually the take that I want to use is the last one. I usually bail on earlier takes, and I'm like, no, I want to start it again. So by the time I've said the whole sentence, I know that's the take that I'm looking for. And with text-based editing, I can literally look at the transcript of me attempting to spit out a sentence, jump to the point where I can read that the sentence starts for realsies. And that way I don't have to fish through. I used to be able to do it pretty well by waveform. I used to be able to look at my audio waveform and be like, okay, here's all the times I tried to say a thing. This is a very long string of text, so it probably starts here. But text-based editing makes it a little bit easier for me to find those cuts so that I can get like a semi-coherent cut together. Hello, Hazel and chat. Hello, how are you? I didn't think I was going to use it as much as I did when I first did like a tutorial for it, but it's very handy for just kind of finding where you're talking about a thing. Like if you had like an hour-long video of somebody giving like an interview and you wanted to find the part where they were talking about, I don't know, mounts, if it's like a WoW thing, you could literally control F this auto-generated transcript and it will jump you to the timestamp where they're talking about it. And that's like incredible for putting together so many different types of projects. That's just like a ton of busy work of just like chewing through the footage trying to look for stuff. Just resubbed and bought the War with an Epic Edition. Let's go. You're ready. You're cruising. Any idea when WoW will come for consoles? I do not know. People already have it set up for Steam Deck. There's people playing it on the couch on their Steam Decks having fun. Heck, I remember somebody put it on a Microsoft Surface once. But for like Xbox, tough to say. Pretty useful if you're putting chapters in videos. Yeah. Managed to play it on an Xbox with NVIDIA. Controller support's here. I felt so dumb. I couldn't get controller support to work. I had this big fantasy of I was going to install it. I have a computer in my living room that's like connected to my TV. And I use it to play like controller Steam games from my couch. Stardew Valley is a favorite for me. And I was like, I'm going to put WoW on this computer so that I can log in and like fly around in like herb, you know, and I want to, or like level like a really low level alt or something. I was going to make like a classic character or something like that. And I was going to just like level and quest. I figured if I'm just casting like one Shadow Bolt, it should be really easy for me to do this in a controller. And I went through the controller setup and I like looked around online and people were recommending an add-on to use for it. So I got the add-on and I tried my darndest to get everything keybound effectively. And I couldn't get to a point where I was comfortably questing because dialogue boxes would just defeat me. I'm sure there was a workaround for it, but like I came to trying to turn in my first quest and I was like, there has to be a better way for me to do this other than activating my mouse cursor and moving my mouse cursor with my joysticks to move it over this tiny little accept quest button. There's got to be a better way. And I'm sure there is, but like I didn't find it. Also, we never do Mornbrew. I just wanted it to work on my Xbox controller, and I'm sure it can. I know people do play like that, but I lost my patience before I got it figured out, so I just gave up on that altogether. I just ended up playing Stardew Valley instead. Tried it for Plunderstorm, it was okay. Don't know about the full game. I hear people do quite well like gathering, like flying around and herbing and stuff. I could see that working very well. Getting 36 hotkeys to work with the controller broke my brain. I think I'm also fighting way too much muscle memory. I have, you know, however many years of experience playing WoW on a keyboard and a mouse sitting at a desk. Even if everything can work on a controller, I feel like it would be tough for me to adjust to it. Rushing to get stuff done in Remix before it's over. Oh man, you got a little time left. Best of luck to you. If I move one spell, it takes me almost 2 days to press it, right? I always say it takes me like a whole dungeon to switch specs. Like if I've been playing a bunch of healing and then I go to DPS, I'm still pressing like the keybinds for the other thing for usually about 1 key's worth of dungeons. It's more or less of a problem depending on which characters I'm switching between. I'm one of the people that will often use the same keybind for the same type of spell across characters. So if I have an interrupt, it'll always be on the same key. If I have like an offensive dispel, that always goes in the same spot. Like I usually put the same kind of category of thing in the same area of my keyboard, but it doesn't always map perfectly. And sometimes I have not set myself up for success. Oh, we're so close. We're 69.5. This character's almost done. Oh, getting there. Not quite. Maybe one more. Stitches? Stitches. So undergeared and I snuck into a Mythic Siege group in Remix? Did you buy the... Are you trolling me or is that a real thing? I'm refreshing Wowhead. I think you're trolling me. Love pre-patch leveling. It's so fast. I have 2 of the 3 capes now. Depending on when you checked in last. Maybe. Stun, silences, AoE, always in the same buttons. On a class that doesn't have a proper interrupt, though, I end up reclaiming that button, which gets me into trouble. My priest doesn't have a traditional kick. Like, it might have silence, which goes in, like, a different keybind for me. Or it might have, like, a stun, like a chastise, but that goes in a different keybind for me. So I end up reclaiming. It's normally my mouse button 3 that's my interrupt, if I have one, but my priest uses something different for that, and it usually gets me into trouble. I'll end up donating my interrupt while trying to press, like, I don't know, mind games. Yes, we did it! Level 70! Capes, just referring to these, the recruits' cloaks from the pre-patch, from leveling in the pre-patch event. If you play War Within Beta, you don't get to keep any of that progress. That's specific to beta. It's just for testing. You don't get to... It's not like a head start. You never ever get to keep beta progress on live. It has always been that way. Blue one looks nice. Yeah. So my played on this character, 6 hours and 22. Actually, that's faster than my hunter. I wonder why. 6 hours and 22 minutes, 1 to 70, and that's... And I didn't do all of it in... I didn't do all of it in pre-patch either. I guess I did a lot of it in pre-patch. Yeah, early access is the head start, absolutely.
Here we go again. Quite literally.
This is not on beta, no. This is pre-patch. I have not done another alt purge. If anything, I've leveled up a bunch of new alts. I've got a bunch more that I don't know if I need. So I'm gonna... Now, I've got about 20 minutes or so before I have to go for the day. And I want to kind of go through my warbank and gear up as many alts as I can. This is the last one that I was planning to level. I don't think I'm going to do a meaningful amount more of Radiant Echoes unless I really, really want more gear. So I think it's time to go through the warbank, gear up as many alts as I can, catalyze as many pieces as I can. Get a bunch of Mog from that, hopefully. And basically just get ready to play in the War Within. I'm probably going to use actual warband pieces in this character, but for now, for this moment. Oh yeah, that's right. So she got a pair of shoulders as well as a chest piece from the champion sets. So she's set there. I'll show you the warbank. It's not a ton. I'm sure lots of people have a lot more gear than this. But I have somewhere in the neighborhood of like 80 or 90,000 echoes to buy extra stuff. And then I have this much, this many pieces of gear that dropped while I was doing the event on my main. So I'm gonna start, I guess, over there. I'm gonna pull my currency, I think, over to her. And then we'll kind of go through the list one at a time and pick up as much as we can. Khadgar keeps saying, I remember this, when he wasn't around, over and over. Didn't realize you could catalyze that gear. At first you couldn't. It was not possible at the beginning of the patch, but they changed it so you can now. So I want to just use this character to basically like hold all of the echoes. And there is no more transfer. Okay, so I have 88,000 of the currency. She can just hold it for now. Leave one echo in each character? Oh, oops. Maybe I'll do the shopping on this character and I'll just send them items. I might need to make a little notepad or something. Little note document to write down what kind of things I want. Because I'm going to be gearing up lots of characters that have never gotten any echoes. Let's start. So, just for reference, this character is wearing basically all This is going to be a good example of my target item level. She's already wearing everything, but this is just kind of, I'm going to use this as a benchmark for what sort of item level I want my alts to be at or above. So if a character has better than that, then I don't need to worry about it. Okay. So 481. Let's just say 480. Item level 480. So if they're at or above that, then they don't need any catch-up gear, and I'm not going to worry about it. Because she's wearing all veteran gear, and then she has a champion bow. So she's in good shape there. So she's done. But I just wanted to have that number saved. We're doing it. We're going to get as many of them as geared up as possible. We have, what, 28 of them now, so I'm sure we can find homes for all that gear in the bank. I'm curious as to how deep that collection goes. I'm going to do them in order of characters I'm most likely to play and level early, down to characters that I'm not really going to worry about. And I guess my remix characters will all go at the bottom. So, Barnacles. I'm going to check this druid real quick to see if she needs anything, because she might not. She was geared in Season 3, so I want to see her item level. I want to see if she actually needs catch-up gear or not. This is my arena alt. The one that we failed to get Proven Healer on in Season 3. How do you feel about the new character screen? It's a bit messy. It's a little overwhelming. So she has item level 460. So she could use some of that stuff. But her item level is not bad, so I'm kind of tempted to come back to her later. Because it's not going to be that big of an upgrade for her compared to some other characters, actually. You get Season 4 tier. Barnacles was definitely going to need some gear. We'll take him to the Warbank. I'm just going to make a note that Valeria is 460 something. I'm going to call this alt gearing notes. Just keeping a little document so I can write down things that I want to remember. So, oh, he's also 467. When did I gear you? When did I do this? I have a Lariat. I was playing Resto on him, wasn't I? I guess I had a Resto moment on Barnacles in Season 3, yeah. He's got a seedling and everything. That's so funny. I forgot. Alright, well, I'll leave him alone for the moment anyways. If a character's that close to 480, I'm not too fussed about dumping the gear into them unless I have extra. Barnacles has been... Because I'm sure this is enough to be leveling with in the War Within. It'll be fine. That's so funny. I completely forgot. Alright. So Barnacles is 467. We'll come back to that, I guess. I thought he was going to have nothing on. I totally forgot. Look at the size of his wrists. Does he have wrists? I think his forearms go right into it. Oh, that thumb is upsetting. I don't think I'm supposed to look at that angle. Okie dokie. Alright. Should I group my time runners together? Just so that I remember where they were when they lose this icon another couple of days. Oh man, this is messy. Messy, messy, messy. What item level is this hunter? Some AI hands going on there. This was my most recent hunter that I leveled up to play in endgame content, so she could have some gear. This is the one where I had a dog named Moose and a cat named Kira. And I gave her a short little brown hair like me. So she's item level 468! I didn't realize I played so many of these characters so recently. I kind of thought they were all empty. Yeah, there's Moose and there's Kira. It's very cute. Alright. Because I know I definitely do have characters that are wearing functionally nothing, so I think they should probably get first priority on the leveling gear. I didn't realize I had so much stuff. Alright, what about her? What are you wearing? I think I've pretty much hit up the characters that are going to be that I wanted to level up first, so at this point anybody can take anything. Organize them alphabetically by class, then each class was alphabetically by character, still messy, but better for my brain. Okay, she's at 424. She could actually use some of this stuff. She hasn't been geared up since season 2. She looks adorable, but we're gonna actually use some of the stuff on it. I'm sure it's not the worst geared character that I have, but I can justify pulling some stuff on this character. I don't use any healing add-on. I heal with default UI, default raid frames. I make them nice and big, and I turn on the in-game option for mouse over casting so that I can mouse over heal with my regular keybinds. I find that's really comfy and reliable for me. But people like Voodoo, people like Click, people like lots of stuff. Okay, so she needs a bow or a crossbow or something. There's a crossbow. 1 weapon done. She needs male gear. Let's get her a helmet, shoulders, chest piece, gloves, belt, legs, and boots. I feel a little bit bad. Like, I'm gonna have a character that was less geared than this one that would be a better candidate for this stuff. My remix characters, I think they won't necessarily need this gear because they're gonna get 460 something, 468s maybe. Hang on. I know I put the bow on, but I think actually I want to check and see. I have another hunter. This one. I think her item level might be even worse than 420. Total currency cost for a full pre-patch gear set? It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 50k, maybe 55k memories. Or echoes or something. Yeah, she's 383, so she needs it. She needs it worse. She still has remix male helper on. So that puts her up to 416. So Zell needs a neck. Oh yeah, that's right. Hang on. I would have jewelry items in there too. I'm doing this in a fairly chaotic way, but that's fine. We'll make it work. There's 1 neck she can use. All right. Cloaks. There's 1 cloak, so I'm basically just gonna be shopping for those. What about rings? No rings. 1 trinket. Okay. So we'll equip that. Puts her up to 437, so she's gonna need a pair of bracers. A belt. 2 rings. 1 trinket. And a hunter weapon. Because I'm probably just going to do the shopping all on 1 character and then mail them these things. I think that's easier than trying to move the currency around and back. Karakta's main. Should I buy her that stuff now? Probably. There's one option to make a huge shopping list, and then there's another option to just do it 1 character at a time. Thought remix characters get way lower gear. There were rumors that it was going to be 424, which was the old boosted gear, but it's going to be better than that. It's going to be guaranteed. It won't be based off what they were wearing before. It'll just be template gear. Oh, I wonder if I have a gun. I should check for guns and bows. Because I used the 1 crossbow on Phaleria, but no gun, no bow, crossbow. Okay, so she does need a hunter weapon. That hat is so cute. It's her chef hat. She always logs interesting cooking equipment. I don't know why. It kind of drives me nuts. This mount is the Ghastly Charger. It'll be available as a Twitch drop, I think, pretty soon with the release of The War Within. It used to be a very rare TCG item. Sets look better than I expected. Yeah, I think it's the nicest looking pre-patch gear we've had in a while. I like the BFA pre-patch stuff as well. So, Got rid of my chef hat so my goblin would stop logging in with it on. Alright. So, all the different things will get her a weapon. The bolter is our hunter weapon. 1 ring, 1 trinket, 2 rings, and then mail bracers and belt. I wish it had a search feature. I'll get used to this, I suppose, over time. I guess the stuff's at the top. 1 trinket, 2 rings. So there's a ring. There's a ring. There's a trinket. And then I need mail, bracers, and belt. Those are leather. Those are plate. That's mail. Yeah, it is kind of annoying shopping a character that's not the one that you're on. Have they done it by type? Plate, mail, mail. There's mail bracers, and then a mail belt. This is gonna be so annoying. There's a mail belt. Defender's cinch. Okay. Do you think I'm eventually gonna learn the names for each individual thing? This is not beta, no. Always logs in wearing his blacksmith hammer, saying echoes. Think it was easier. I'd have to have echoes on them to pull them, and I already moved. A lot of those characters never had echoes to begin with, and I moved a lot of, like, if I just went and did like a little bit of an event, that might be easier still. Also, I don't know why I'm running all the way out. There's like a mail. I could use a mailbox in there. Yeah, you would need to have at least a little bit of the currency to be able to pull it to the alt that you're gearing, which isn't the end of the world. It's just like a little annoying thing. I just have to decide if it's more or less annoying than sending the items this way. So I got 1. This way you have to like confirm whether or not you want to actually have them equip. Send her those things, and then I want to take her to the catalyst. Do you remember the Legion pre-patch? I don't remember it very well. It's a long time ago. Kill a boss with them and get gear with them also. Yeah. Just kind of annoying. This isn't much better though, for sure. Although at least this character's still in Voldraken, so she can pretty easily just pop over to the catalyst to get her gear sorted. Although I don't think it's going to be any actual transmog for me because I already have a hunter set on a different hunter. But her item level will get fixed up here. That'll be nice. 468, was that everything? Didn't I send her bracers? Did I not send her bracers? I didn't send the bracers. You're right, this is awful. This was a bad idea. Oh. I forgot to send the bracers and the belt. That's probably true. Oh man, this might be a better job for not. I thought this was going to be like a fun, satisfying little kind of like organizing task to do on stream, and I'm starting to think this is not going to be any fun on stream. Yeah, those are the last 2 items. So she gets these. And then we'll go catalyze everything. Because you may as well. No reason not to. Green swirly over his own, flying there, killing a dreadlord. It's been a long time. The spaceships. Normal 12 of us, like 13, doing okay. Alright. How do you catalyze? I will show you. It turns the item into a Dragonflight Season 4 tier piece, which means that it might be a different appearance for you to collect if you don't have that transmog already, and it also will get access to the tier set bonus, which might be kind of handy at first while you're leveling until you replace it. So what I typically like to do is go to the top of here, just to make it a little easier. And then there's a specific location you'll fly out to where we've been catalyzing our gear in Dragonflight. Your character will already have 9 charges or 7 charges or something like that. We're basically heading over here-ish in Tierhold, just north of Tierhold. I'll show you again when we get there. But we're heading basically right for this window right here. It's due just a little bit north of east of Veldraken. And I'll show you here. What should I main for the War Within? Holy Priest? No. You are not allowed to play a Holy Priest. I forbid it personally. Why have I never thought of teleporting upstairs? I mean, you can fly here just fine dragon riding. I'm just very bad at managing vigor, and I don't want to have to use all the little lifty things. Anyway, this is the actual, like, screenshot of the location of the catalyst. That's exactly where you're going. And then you just, you pop the items in there. It'll take a charge, but we start with 9, which is enough to do a whole armor set. And it'll give you the tier appearance as well as the tier set bonus. So we can turn all of this into Shadowlands tier. Or Dragonflight tier. I keep saying Shadowlands. So nice for mod collecting. And then also nice to get a little set bonus to level with. Would you play Enhance if Flappy played Priest? Oh, man. Probably not. It's melee. Me? Melee? I don't know. Hoarder Alliance does not matter that much anymore in terms of who you can play with. The main thing that you must be the same faction as somebody in order to do is to queue up for, like, public random content, like Time Walking or LFR. You won't be able to queue cross-faction for things like that, or like random heroic dungeons and stuff. But for Mythic Plus or raiding, I guess it might be also, I don't know how it works when you're trying to just quest in the world with somebody. Also, apparently I didn't have the belt. Oh, hang on. I catalyzed, I messed up. I guess I have extra charges, but I catalyzed my old belt, which actually gave me a transmog that I needed, so that works out, but that's pretty funny. Oops. I guess there's no reason for me to do the boots. It's not going to be for the set bonus anyway. Let me pop the 480 belt on. And the bracers. Whoops, it easy do. Yeah, you can also catalyze Primalist gear for a different set. Anyway, she's got the set bonus. This wouldn't give me any extra appearances that I don't already have on my hunters, so we're set there. At least the next catalyst is in the capital city. Yeah, that'll be nice. Why is the catalyst so far away? What your 4 main warband classes are? What are your plans? I'll show you. I have them right here. This is my screen right now. These two on the right, especially this guy, a little bit not locked in. The first two are locked in. This is my main. I'm a gnome priest. I'm going to be playing mainly holy with a dash of shadow. I want to try and set up a proper DPS spec this expansion. This is my DPS alt, just for soloing, for fun, for questing, just to have like a kind of a main alt. I wanted a hunter. I wanted her to be a night elf, so we leveled one pretty recently. And then I wanted one character I can tank on. So currently the plan is him as a bear druid to do just like some casual dungeons to get that achievement for doing mythic dungeons on each roll. And then this character is for PvP. So she might not be that active. I don't PvP that much, but if I did, it would be on this character. That's the plan. Okay, so that hunter is geared. This hunter is 424, so she's okay. She could now go and pick up the extra pieces of duplicate mail gear, I guess. Didn't PvP that much for one patch. Yeah, I guess that's true. I have been reasonably consistent in getting at least the Vicious mount every season by doing Arena, but I did not do it in the most recent patch, is true. I did not. I think they're doing 2 mages, Hunter and a Paladin, mostly 2 mages for quicker mod collection. Nice ritual when I go to work to have my coffee, listen to Hazel. I hope I find a way to bring it back that feels better and stronger, and that it's something that I can be really proud of. Mail. So she can take these pants, this belt, and a pair of shoulders. There's pretty much no other necks, rings, cloaks. All the generic stuff is pretty much already gone. I have a ton of weapons, and then I have a few pieces of armor. So I'll make a little list of this character, what she's missing, but Aerith is 441, missing, what is she missing? Helmet, neck, cloak, chest. Bracers. She does have a weapon. bracers, gloves, boots. So many things. Rings and trinkets. I could so see where a spreadsheet would actually come in very handy for this, so that you don't have to list everything out individually. Aerith is a male wearer as well, but she's 441, so her item level's not hideous. I'm gonna leave her alone for now. Do you want them to do more remixes in the future? Absolutely. I'd be happy with any of them, to be honest. Any of them would be super fun. We have other priests. I'll come back to that. My evoker. What's she wearing? I feel like she's also going to be in Season 2 gear. Yeah, I've been playing WoW since 2009. Azorian, thank you for the brand new stuff. Appreciate it. She is wearing a fish. I mean, listen, not everybody can handle fashion like this. Oh, man. So floppy. This is the Stinkrot Smasher. It's an Island Expedition transmog. They're available to buy and sell in the auction house. They're pretty spendy. She's 445. Would need everything. I'll just make a note of that for now. I want to make sure I'm prioritizing like my 380 alts and my 360 alts. What is Hazeline wearing? The crop top? Get it. As a Drakthir, you look like you're gonna eat that fish at any second. Need it so I can use an event to gear them. Can't figure out my 2 or 3 mains. 392. So she's really not wearing very much. This was my Shadowlands main. Ha, Bastion. Nothing like jump scaring people by logging into Elysian Hold. Like, all this anima that I'm getting. Oh no! I lost the mission. What do you mean? Any pet charms? Ah, yes. Love that. This is how I get my pet charms these days. I just leave one character at the mission table. Just gonna make a note of it for now. Hazeline is 392. Needs everything. I want to prioritize having a geared alt of each class. So I think I'm less keen to funnel cloth gear to one of my bonus priests, just because I know I have bonus, like, I don't know, warlocks that might need it more. What about Nightflame? What is Nightflame wearing? Leather is... There's no shot I uninstall TLDR if there's even a tiny chance I would ever touch the table again. I feel like I've been meaning to reinstall it. He's 391. Okay. Let's just go shopping on him. Let's go pick up some stuff on him. He's my only demon hunter. Yeah. I use TLDR through all of Shadowlands. I haven't bothered to get it set back up because I'm only running like 2 missions a day, but I probably should. It was just throwing errors now and then, which was kind of annoying when I barely needed it for anything. Okay, so, hang on. First of all, is there a glaive? If there is, I don't have one. He needs glaives. Alright, but he's gonna get a helmet, shoulders, bracers, chest, belt, legs, and boots. So we'll just pop those on. Fix his item level up a little bit here. Satisfying, satisfying. And then that puts him to 430. Is he wearing all of it? So aside from the generic pieces, jewelry and cloaks and weapons, I guess glaives, are all of his main armor pieces okay? No, we need gloves. And gloves. Okay. Oh, we should take him to catalyze his stuff. We should get him gloves and then take him to catalyze his stuff. I mean, he looks great like this. I think he's gonna... How can he possibly look as fashionable as this once we get in the thing? You do grocery shopping for launch day snacks. Very important. Meal prep for a few days. Yeah. Can't go shopping on them. No shirt, no service. Asked for a day off on Friday. It was approved. All day wow, here I go. Gotta take lunch off. Let's see. So I was gonna buy basically, I'll get him all the pieces he needs. I may as well. If I run out of, if I run out of currency, but I geared up Night Flame, then I could have done worse. Let's see. She's at level 517. She doesn't need anything. I played her in this last season. So, we want to look at weapons. Specifically, are there glaives? Do demon hunters use anything other than glaives? Can they use swords? I have swords. I'm a little dumb when it comes to demon hunters. I don't really know what they're doing. I just know that it looks great. They seem to be having fun over there, and I love that for them. In the meantime, let's do jewelry, cloak, and leather gloves. So there is a neck. There are 2 rings. Let's get a cloak. Trinkets. And then some leather gloves. They can, in fact, use swords. There are swords and axes they can use. Okay. Maybe I'll be able to get him weapons out of the bank then. Leather gloves. Mail gloves. Plate gloves. Leather wrists. This is upsetting. There's leather gloves. Okay. The main reason I wanted to worry about that, pardon me, was because if I'm going to go catalyze the gear set, the gloves will be part of the tier, and I didn't want to be missing one appearance. I can't filter for leather. I could only filter to cloth. But hopefully I have weapons for him, because I would love to get him like set up as a 480. I think that'll be good. I'm surprised by how quickly I've spent down my extra echoes already. I only have enough for like 1 full set of gear for somebody. So Night Flame can take this, these, not that, this. I wonder why one of the rings doesn't need confirmation. Okay. Should be good. Bless you, Stu. Thank you. Oh, he's looking good. Oh yeah, he's got like knuckles on right now. Also, I have to go. It's 10 minutes after noon. I'll catalyze his gear and then I'll go because I want to see what his gear looks like. I think tomorrow is going to be banks and bags. I don't know if I'm going to be alt gearing as much. Maybe I should. But banks and bags on these characters. Going through and getting their quest logs, getting everything like real nice and clean. I think it'll be satisfying. Gotta say past your bedtime. Hazel's gotta go eat lunch. We've got leftover casserole. Also, I can't eat too much. I gotta save room for dinner. I'm going on a date tonight. If I'm going out on a date, I want to be hungry. I'm not trying to flatter anybody. I'm not trying to look dainty. I'm trying to eat. Oh, I want to go inside for the catalyst. That's right. What kind of casserole? Tuna casserole. It's one of my favorite things that my mom used to make for me growing up. Gotta tell us tomorrow what you had. Pick up the mail first. I can do it when I'm over there. I mean, I think if I was like very early in dating someone, it's not that I would want to eat not very much in a date, but there's probably some things that I would not eat on a first date because they might be messy or they might be smelly. You know, there's some things that you maybe save for like a third date, but I'm a few dates past the third date, so I think I can just go have a nice time. As I know. You won't tell us where you go. I don't even know where I'm going. What are you planning on having? I don't know, actually. We'll see. Lactose is lactose intolerant. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear. I'll have to see what the weather looks like. Oh yeah, I was gonna get my meal, that's right. So we've got our Ohuna perch right here. Grab his, that's right. His gloves. And other pieces here. So many bits and pieces. Okay. Yeah, so he's 469 now, but he needs weapons, which we can check the bank for. In the meantime, though, we can catalyze our current set. Are we able to transfer the event currency yet? Yeah, they re-enabled transfer. Holy moly, hang on a second. I need to admire this for a minute. I have not seen this tier set, and that is a look. Oh, man. Can't even afford a Halloween costume that good. Screaming Torch Fiends. What a name for a tier set. My, what big flames you have. Crank my DH through the Echoes event to get the tier set. Why? Yeah, it's kind of incredible. I'm glad I'm collecting this. I didn't have it before. He might have to wear this for a while. I thought the purple set was pretty good. What level tier? Veteran track, so I think this would be the LFR appearance. DH is a remix soon? Have to wait. Soon. Soon. There we go. Achievement turned. Fire a catwalk with me. Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on, I shadow melded. We need to do this in the light. Perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. I do want to know if I have weapons that he can use, though. So let's hearth to somewhere. Am I the only one who thinks the Skull Flame helm looks silly? No, it's ridiculous. It's so extra. Looks cool to me. Night Flame's kind of a silly guy, though. Alright. Do I have any? It would be like Agiaxes, right? Or something? Let's see. Swords? Oh yeah, I could use like a pair of these swords. Not the spell blade. But the blade, and not the saber, but this one. That one can be Agi. Those are two-handers. What about axes? Int axe, strength axe. There's an Agi axe. That's weird that they like. I guess they all have different names, so they've come with different stats. But that should do. We can put a blade in one hand, and we can put the axe in the other. And there we go. Adam level 480. He's ready. Perfect. Okay, I gotta save my little alt gearing notes document so I can refer to it later if I need to. Holy moly. Alt gearing notes. Wow, I still have so much gear to distribute for my warbank. I really thought it was gonna be super fast. I don't know why. I guess it depends on whether or not I want a gap fill or whether I want to just like pick up stuff on the earliest character that I can. We got rid of like a couple columns. I have a lot of weapons that could use homes. I might have a few too many two-handers and not enough people to wield them, but we'll see. Okay. I am finished for today, but I will be back tomorrow, Sunday morning, for our last stream of the week, because I take Monday, Tuesday off, but those will be my last days off for a while, because I think the following weekend we're going to stream right through it, because it's right over launch. I appreciate your company. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.